Gentlemen, we are going live now! Welcome back to the Invictus stream. My name is Harlan, and I am here with my polymorphic friend, Christopher.
Hello.
My bilingual friend, Justin.
Bonjour tout le monde.
My rigid friend, Mycl. And we are back with Call of Cthulhu, Game 1, Part 3. Thank you so much for being here. We are excited and a little nervous and scared and horrified to be back in the realm of Cthulhu with you tonight. I want to start off, as we always do, with a brief little, this is an 18-plus show. This is going to be about the horrific dark stuff that lives between your fingernails and other horrific things of that nature. So if you feel like you are not mature enough to hear a couple of cuss words and see some boobies, then go ahead and close that window. But before you do, please give us a big thumbs up. As our friend Mycl likes to say, a thumbs up makes him a happy guy.
Well, here's the thing about that, Harlan. I'm going to jump in. Oh, sorry. Whoa! Let me try that again. Okay, Harlan.
Who's this guy?
As I was getting ready for tonight's game, I was like, hey, sweet deal. I don't have to wear pants because it's just like from the top up.
Whoa. Hold on
and
a
then
second.
I thought, wait.
Well, segue from thumbs up going to no pants. I don't like how this is going.
Don't you know where the thumbs go?
I know, it sounds a little wicked weird at first, but I like the likes, and I figured the only way we would get a likes if anyone caught me with my pants down would be Harlan, and that's only because there's no lick button.
It's true, because if it was, it would be all over Mike.
So I decided I'd just, I don't know, I put shorts on.
Damn chicken legs. Well, thank you, Mike, for giving us a lick up button. But please do go and like the YouTube video. We love making these videos, and it makes us feel so much better. We sleep so much better if you give us a thumbs up. So please, if you're watching, go ahead and give us a little bit of a thumbs up right now. Secondly, our good friend Justin here puts a lot of work into our Twitter. So if you're one of the tweets that tweets, go ahead and tweet us a tweet so we can tweet you back. Because Twitter is a really fun thing. Just saying. That's the Twitter theme song that we just wrote. Also, if you are not part of our spiritual advisor group on our Facebook group page, then what the hell is wrong with you? Go over to Facebook right now, join our group. It's super low-key. There's no membership fee. You get a little XP, and I'm going to rap like Yeezy. Yeezus?
Straight out of Compton.
Straight out of Compton, which is a movie I really want to see.
Okay,
so please.
and sorry, I'm going to jump in again, Harlan, because you got to join the Facebook group, because here's the thing about the Facebook group. There's a lot of really good, really smart people there, a lot smarter, a lot funnier than any of us, and they're just an all-around good group of people. So you want to meet new friends, join the Facebook group.
I'm going to round of applause that too, because I got to agree with that. There are a bunch of great people on the Facebook group. And on that note, we're going to do two really quick little shout-outs. We want to wish a happy birthday to our good friend and longtime follower, Jesper. Happy birthday, buddy. And we didn't forget about you two, Aisha and Bob. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy. Oh, ouch.
Sorry, that meant to be.
Oh, whatever.
There's two horns. I get confused. So happy birthday, happy anniversary, guys. We are so excited to be here tonight. Part of being a part of our little community means that we're going to give you rewards for being communicative. And this week's most valuable player, I should say poster, award goes to the one and only Chris Lawrence. You for his fantastic post, what's the worst RPG/tabletop experience you've ever had? Which brought back a lot of memories of games that Chris ran.
Ouch.
Just kidding. I posted. I honestly have not had a bad experience role-playing yet. Mind you, I am the youngest role player of our group, so to speak, as I'm the newest to it. But hey, no bad experience. I cannot complain. So, Well done, Chris. Keep up the good work. And remember, all you need to do to win a little experience and to be the most valuable poster is to make a valuable post. That kind of creates a little bit of conversation with you. So well done, guys. This week we had a really cool weekly enigma that our good buddy Chris put together, which had a little bit of a spooky soundtrack to it, and we want to award 3 people for this week. Excuse me. We want to award Yannick, Chris, Lawrence, and Aisha. You guys were the first 3 to get the correct answer, so well done. And remember, every right answer still gets you XP. Every wrong answer still gets you XP. This is all about, you know, strengthening your brain muscle. And Chris, I know you put a lot of work into that. And well done to everybody who submitted, and everyone who guessed, and everyone who joined in the conversation. And on that note, we want to really promote that these weekly enigmas don't have to be lone solutions. You guys can talk about them. I know you don't want to share your answers, but you can easily kind of bounce ideas off each other. Oh, did you hear this? And then you can also spend experience points to get a hint. At that point, it's a little difficult because you got to race to the finish line and send us an email. But feel free to talk in the comments and bounce ideas off each other and things like that. This week, again, we had our last little contest was a voting thread for the next line in our spooky poem that will be featured in the end of our little campaign, or near the end of our little campaign, as an important piece of Call of Cthulhu history. So hopefully you all have voted, and I'm going to refresh right now to read the winner who will be added to the next line of our community poetry session. Drum roll me. Evan Jones. Well done, buddy. Yeah, first place voted by 268 of your peers. That's a lot of people. That's actually more people in the entire group. So I'm going to go ahead and say vote manipulation. But you know what? You got there. Invictus is not about the legal means. It's just about getting there. It doesn't matter whether you did it in the most honest way. Sometimes the honest way isn't the most fun way. So well done. And those are our little contests. MVP Chris, Weekly Enigma, you guys know who you are, and well done, Evan, for winning the poetry line. I'm going to quickly throw it over to our reporter, Justin, for our Twitter stream to do a quick little shout-out of this week's Twitter.
Yes, this is Justin James reporting in from the Twitterverse. Hope you're all doing well down there.
Yeah, we're all doing well.
Today we are going to be focusing on a little Twitter group, a site called the Cthulhu Project. And the Cthulhu Project is a small company that makes a bunch of unique, kind of quirky Lovecraft-themed, Cthulhu-themed products. So just an example, it's you can't really put them under an umbrella of products. They don't just make jewelry. They don't just make board games. They do a few little things. So, for example, they make a colorful Where's Cthulhu poster. So instead of Where's Waldo, they got Where's Cthulhu. You got to find all of his little tentacles. All right, so that's something that you could pick up and put on your wall, and keep entertained. Let's see. We also got a Cthulhu Ouija board. So instead of trying to speak to the spirits, you're speaking to deep ones, right? Pretty straightforward. And then they've also got a board game or a card game called The Writer. And essentially each player competes as a different writer, and you are trying to write the Cthulhu Mythos books. So like the Necronomicon, the Book of Relia.
Rely, I think it is.
Rely.
I mean, I wouldn't know. It's not like you guys are going there.
Ooh. I like the sound.
I gotta say, Necronomicon is my favorite book because it's in my favorite movie. What's my favorite movie, Mike?
Evil Dead.
That's right. Give him XP.
I thought
Let's
it was
go
made
kick some ass.
So anyways, for the tentacle lover in your family, or if you're just a Lovecraft lover, then definitely check these guys out. You'll find their information in the info section below this video. And without further ado, Cthulhu Project, you are our Cthulhu Shoutout of the Week. Congratulations.
Wait, does it count if you're like a one-tickle lover?
A one tickle?
Well, I
don't have 10 of them. I just got like one. So like.
One tickle, two tickle.
Yeah, see, I agree with that one.
What if you just, you just want to try out a tentacle and you're just testing it? You're testing your testicles?
Tickle test? I give them the tickle test?
Tickle testicle.
All right. So again, to all of our viewers, please make sure that you're constantly checking the Facebook page for handouts and things like that, so you can play along with the guys and give them your advice. And other than that, I think we're ready to get the spook started. Many of you know, all of our Call of Cthulhu stories are written in the Book of Cthulhu, and I will now read from the Book of Cthulhu to make sure everything is up to date. Oh, and just so you guys know, before we started, each of these guys rolled up their checked off skills and increased them by the appropriate amount. So they are up on all their shiznit. That's how the kids say it, which they don't. All right, Book of Cthulhu. Yeah, that's the one. I only got one. Game 1, Part 3 of Call of Cthulhu. Hi, welcome back to the Invictus stream. My name is Harlan, and I am here with Henry, Frank, and Jarrett. Buckle in for a wild ride. The sound of gunfire rings in your ears as Edward Mason drops to his knees. The barrel of Frank's gun quietly breathes wisps of smoke as Henry rushes to Edward's side. Jarrett, you simply stand there, shocked, as everyone moves around you in slow motion. Frank and Henry turn to each other, nodding silently as the smell of the damp stone walls fill you with a sense of mortality. Jarrett, you see Edward's body begin to move as Henry caringly rolls it into the grave on top of Roland's lifeless body. The gaping hole in the back of Roland's head is wet with blood and twinkles in the flicker of the candlelight. You think back on the night you watched that person die in the alley, but shake your head. Both Henry and Frank are now bleeding before you, and they're looking quite weak.
Yeah, so, guys, what the hell? Like, you guys okay? And I'll do like a, wow, sorry, keep losing the accent there. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick first aid check and just see if there's anything I can help these guys with, because they might also be in shock and not even know that they're injured yet.
Very likely. Sure, give me a roll.
I would just like to assume that I passed. And I did not. So they look like they're leaking, but it looks pretty good to me.
Okay. Frank, Henry, what are you guys dealing with?
Well, I'm hurting quite a bit, so I look over at Jerry and say, yeah, I think I need a doctor or something. I'm oozing out here pretty good. Wait, what happened? Edward just lost his mind, or how can I trust you guys aren't going to go the same way?
Well, we haven't yet.
Yeah. On Edward's person, did we find anything? I'm going to check quickly to see if he has anything that would reveal what his insanity.
Yeah, okay. So you check his body, and you don't find anything. Nothing that... I mean, again, the pistol that he shot Roland with, and you guys with, is now by his feet. But other than that, he's just wearing a wife beater and a pair of blue jeans. So there's nothing really mysterious about him. But give me a little bit of a spot hidden roll. But you did a little bit of one.
Okay, I was successful.
Okay, so you do notice that on his the back of his kneecap, he does have a strange-looking tattoo. I'm going to say it like that, a tattoo.
Like a ballerina
looks like
dress.
This.
Ooh.
And it doesn't look like it appeared suddenly. In fact, give me a knowledge roll. Or something that would make you, you know...
Can I do it in a cultural? Can I do it in a cultural?
Sure, but you already passed anyway.
I'll call it then.
Well, you don't... No. It was not an occult roll, but your knowledge roll does... You can tell that this tattoo is actually faded and stretched, which would indicate that it's actually been on him for a number of years.
Hmm. Would that be an appraise roll, maybe?
Sure. Well, knowledge. Again, it's just kind of like based on what you've seen of tattoos before, which you have. You notice that the ink is faded and that the skin has been stretched, losing some of its shape. In fact, it is so much stretched that you can't make out the exact... While I did show it to you, and the reason I didn't post it in chat is because the markings around the center image are indecipherable. They look like black splotches.
Was the goat colored in?
No, it was a black line.
Exactly as it was. Okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
The black goat comes.
That's what I was thinking.
But I guess we couldn't really see that it was a goat, eh?
You would see the face in the center.
Okay.
Just not the symbols around.
Correct.
So again, can I do an occult roll and just see if I know of that sort of thing?
Sure.
Now I guess I can't
fillet it off and put it. What if we fillet it off and put it into your book?
I was just gonna ask the same thing.
Don't know if it works that way.
Okay, so yeah, I did pass my occult.
Okay. So you take another look at it after Henry points it out to you, and you, again, trying to see it in the candlelight, and you can just tell that the image is almost worn down to its nub. You could cut it off his skin, however, it doesn't seem like it would do you much good, as it almost looks like a blotch tattoo.
Yeah.
But we can see that it's a circle with a star in the middle and a goat.
Correct.
But I don't recognize it from any studies.
You do not recognize it, no. And it's not in your grandfather's book.
Think you can sketch that down, Jared? We might
of course.
refer to that.
Perfect. But
So
what I'm going to do,
book.
rather than posting it or anything like that, I'm actually going to make you physically draw it, and that's what you'll have to post. So the brief amount of time that you've seen it, that's what the image you're going to go on. And don't rewind the video and try to...
Oh, hey, I would just like to say that's a bit of a bastard move.
Yeah, it is. All right, so outside, you, again, hear the thunder. Oh, and on that note, I should mention, where we are currently filming, it actually is thundering outside. So if the off chance the stream does go down, stick around, because I can always post on Facebook whether we'll be back momentarily. If it looks like the power is going to be out for good, then who knows, maybe Cthulhu is on to us. Back to you guys.
Okay. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I need some medical attention.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so you're going to do some first aid rolls?
Yeah, let's do that first of all. So I'm going to try to see if I can help myself.
Okay.
First aid. Yeah, I am successful. So how does that work?
So you immediately get one die point, or one hit point back.
Okay.
And what I'm going to say is, while Edward was trying to kill you, his aim wasn't the best. He was rolling pretty crappy. So a lot of these are not direct hits. They're kind of skids alongside. So for the sake of 10 campaigns, I'm going to say you heal 3 hit points now with a successful first aid roll, as well as every 3 hours or so, we'll give you another hit point.
Excellent.
And that will go the same with all 3 of you.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I missed that because I was like doing my etchings.
I said that a successful first aid roll will give you immediate 3 hit point recovery and 1 hit point every, what did I say, 3 hours? I just forgot. Every few hours.
Wow. I'm not feeling so good. I think we should get back to town and get to a hospital.
Okay. Remember, you can.
Oh,
you can
there's
push rolls,
also a little girl that we need to find, Frank. I mean, I think if you need to go to the hospital, you should go absolutely. But you really think we should stop for the night?
Did we get the keys from
Do we
Roland's
really believe there's still a girl?
Yeah, we should get. We get the
Because
keys
whose
off the
daughter were we
Roland's body,
looking
by the way.
for? We were looking
Roland's.
for Roland's daughter, but wasn't it Edward that was bringing us here? If he was that
No.
ready to kill, I
Yeah,
thought
maybe it was. Maybe it was all a trap by Edward. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, because I thought Roland said it was his daughter.
So, do you think Edward has the daughter, or had the
No,
daughter?
I would think if he was that callous, just to shoot a man in the back of the head, I wouldn't be surprised if the girl died like long before he even set all this up.
We got too little information to go on right now.
We do have one name that we could check into off the diary. Hold on, let me find it.
It's the aunt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the aunt. So while this is happening, I'm just gonna keep on trying to cover my wounds.
Yeah, that's fine. Again, because when you're doing first aid, it's kind of one of those things that, like, you're bleeding out, right? It's going to be a constant. So I think it's fair that every few minutes you can try again, because you're like, what, holding a rag on, trying to tape a bandage?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have the Aunt Beatrice, which may or may not have the same last name as, you know,
Wouldn't have the
father.
same. No, she'd have the. Oh, maybe if she's the father's sister.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, so we've got that. I remember. Didn't it say in your journal, your grandfather's journal, that she was like a socialite? She was in with the high society of Arkham.
Again, this was also 20 years ago.
That's true. She might not be living now.
But
it is something to go on.
Yeah, we can also try to find out anything about the black sheep or the black goat.
Where would we start with that?
I don't know.
Bookstore?
Or
Well,
Mr. and Mrs. Katowski. There's also Mr. and Mrs. Katowski we could look into. We have a few names we can go on.
So the Katowskis.
Yeah, let's go on that. Let's see if we can find something. Let's go to an archive or something.
All right. So we got those two, and we got 3. But then what about our friend Edward?
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's a boxer, right?
Yeah,
hey,
let's
that's
go
pretty
back.
close. That's a pretty good drawing. There you go.
Nice.
Little known about Michael. He took a lot of art classes. Okay.
So
yeah,
Alex isn't the only painter in the group.
Yeah, I can't use paint programs,
Okay,
but I
no one
got some
wants to.
etchings.
Nice. All right, so Jarrett, why don't you roll some first aid on Frank, because I think he's bleeding out, and I think you have the highest first aid.
Who does?
Jarrett.
Yeah. Well, I can give it a try too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I believe I successed on him. I failed on myself when I tried, but yes,
All over
I
me.
successed on Frank.
All over his face. I successed all over his face.
I successed on him.
Perfect. So, Frank, you can heal 3 HP right now, and we'll do 1 over the course of the next few hours. But again, because you guys were grazed by the wounds, while it is bleeding a lot, a simple bandage is kind of keeping the blood back. So not enough to make it feel like anything's broken.
Did Roland have his wallet on him?
Yes, he did. And in his wallet, you find a business card saying Roland Burroughs, private investigator, and an address in Arkham. And as you're looking through this, your candles are starting to flicker, and you hear the thunder of a storm outside rolling in, and it's starting to sound quite ferocious.
It seems to me that Roland picked us for a very specific reason. That seems like a good place to start as any.
Well, he picked Edward too.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Well, my vote is Roland's house. What do you guys say?
Well, I mean, yeah, Jarrett, what do you think?
I'm good with that.
And then if we don't find anything there, we got some other leads we can go on. We can go on Edward. We can go on the Katowskis. We can go on the Ant. For now, let's go to Roland's house to see if there's any information, and if there is a girl out there, the little girl, we can maybe find some clues about that as well.
I'm feeling a lot better now, but it's storming pretty bad outside, and we've still got to get through the forest back to the car. If you want to go.
I was under the impression that's like a 5-minute walk or something. Is that not right, Harlan?
No, it was a bit longer than that to try to get through the woods. However, if you still have the map, you will see that there is a straighter path through. Do you guys still have the map?
Yes, we do. It should be in the book.
Oh, here, I've got it on my phone. You just have to connect to Wi-Fi. Yep. Church Wi-Fi, that's probably the one.
It's unsecured. Should I still do it? So this is the series of houses in the woods that the young girl has drawn, and
Right.
this is the front door of the house. So while you did take kind of a convoluted path there, it does seem like there is, as the crow flies, a straight way back to the house.
Yeah, as a close. The crows kill you too in this game. So.
Yeah, well, that's why I was going to say it might be
What
better
game?
to be behind the crows than in front of them.
No, let's. For the sake of time, it's raining. I don't want to get poured on, so let's go.
Okay, so you begin to leave the crypt, as again the flash of the name Nietzsche, whatever's on the gravestone, I forget that, flashes as you leave, and you look back one more time at the two bodies, Roland and Edward, face down in the open grave, and you kind of shake your head. Is anyone? I'm assuming I'm going to give you guys the benefit of the doubt and assume someone took Edward's gun.
Yes, and the keys for Roland's car.
Yes, keys would be for his car too. Yes, good call.
Yeah, actually, I believe at the end of last session, those two handed me the gun. I don't remember if I actually took it, but they said, hey, you will probably need this. And I believe I took it reluctantly, but would still
Sounds
depend
very
on
much.
my...
Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys kind of ascend the stone steps, you each kind of think back on what just transpired. And how are you each feeling about what just happened?
I feel at a loss. I feel that the man that hired us is dead now, so... And he was going to show me who killed my wife.
Yeah, he had promises of me finding ways to prove myself good, and now he's dead, so what do I have left?
And Jarrett, what about you?
Well, I'm intrigued, because there's a lot to figure out here. I'm just not sure how to go about doing it. But, I mean, we got this, like, little cult symbol going on, and he mentioned that this is bigger than all of us. And, again, how did this guy take the time to get us all together without, like, it still bothers me that he didn't just come out and meet us one day. He did it, like, conspiracy-wise. And then, at the same time, he got this other guy, like, he knew all about us. He even had notes on me. But didn't know that this guy was in a cult, or did he?
Or did he?
But
All right,
I doubt
so-
he would put himself in a position to get his head blown off if he did.
Yeah.
So you guys continue up the steps as you're each reflecting on the events have happened. This morning alone, or this afternoon I should say, you woke up at a bed and breakfast down the road, and now you have speckled blood on your face and on your clothes, and the heat that begins to seep in your skin again as you walk up to the abandoned church just makes you realize how deep you are in this. And as you reach the top step, you step out into the church and you see the bent pews and the turned over articles and books and things like that. And the rain is falling through holes in the cracked church roof. And standing at the doorway to the church on the far side of the room is a figure with large black horns staring at the three of you.
I pull out my gun, aiming at it.
I too do the same thing.
And I will sort of step behind those two.
All right, so you pull out your guns.
Is it a human figure, or are we looking at a goat?
You can roll knowledge or spot hidden.
Well, is it standing on its hind legs?
Human?
It doesn't. It looks
black
like
goat.
a human-ish creature.
Like, how tall are we talking? Like, it's not like a 2 foot something. It's like
No,
6
it looks to be the height of a man, but it does have large horns sticking out of its head.
Who
and
are
it is
you?
bathed in darkness.
What are you doing here? Who are you?
So as you scream, your voice echoes through the church, and a flash of lightning blinds each of you, and in an instant, the figure is gone.
Tell me you saw that too.
Well, yeah. I hope that's why you pulled your gun out.
I'll have to lay you down.
Well, what the hell?
I guess that's the black goat.
Might be, or it's some crazy. There's a lot of crazies out here. Edward was crazy. Let's just be
Okay,
careful when we get out there.
I want
Why is it here, Jared?
I want to go see where it was standing, and again see if there's like a trap door or something, just like the magician had on stage.
Okay.
Because things don't just pop in and out.
Okay. While we do that, give me each a sanity roll.
Old man Griffith. Sorry.
It was you!
Okay, and when you fail, what happens?
When you fail, we're going to give you a 1d2, so just roll 1d4 and half it. It was more startling than mind-bogglingly scary.
Okay, so I got over. So what am I doing? 1d4.
You got over it, so 1d4, but halved. And as you stand in the church, again, you see flashes of lightning just illuminate the walls that the small lights you carry can't quite hit. And you get an eerie sense of dread, as if you suddenly realize that you are not just in the middle of the woods, you're in the middle of a place that you don't know.
I'm not gonna lie. I know that normally, Frank, I'm telling you I'm not necessarily afraid of this supernatural, but that's when we're a little closer to home back in Arkham. I've never really been out of the town. I don't really know that much about the world around us. And I don't mean to come off all like little girly-like, but I just want to say that I'm feeling a little nervous right now.
Jarrett.
And I don't know if this is a good place to stay or not. I don't know. I'm going to be looking to you and your experience, because I got nothing.
Well, you're a smart kid, Jarrett. As long as you keep your senses about you, you'll be all right. Henry, what do you think? Should we stay here overnight or try to make our way back to the car? There's something strange about where we are right now. I feel...
If we left and we found out the little girl was here all along, I don't think I could live with myself.
I feel like we got bigger things to worry about right
Bigger
now.
things to worry about?
Than a little girl. I know it sounds harsh, but yes. What do you think that thing was?
Yeah, and if it's with the little girl, then we have an issue. I don't know what that thing was. I have no idea. I just think we should do a little looking around here before we just run off with our tails between our legs.
So, based on the house, which you pretty much thoroughly checked, and the layout of this church and the buildings around it, there's no place that you haven't really taken a look at. And someone give me a knowledge roll.
So like education?
There should be one that just is called NO, or a KNO.
Underneath it, intel. Oh, that's power. Never mind.
Sure, education. That's fine.
Or intelligence, idea.
Or idea, whatever is highest.
Yeah, okay, so not quite a hard success, but it's a success.
Okay, brilliant. So, Jerry, you overhear the conversation between Henry and Frank, and based on the room-by-room search you guys have done, you pipe up confident that there's no way a young girl could be within within this land, unless she's randomly lost in the woods. But at that point, it'd be like finding a needle in a haystack.
Well, that's what I would be
You said
thinking, that she's probably starved to death, or something like that as well, because what's she been eating? Like crow?
I'm not talking about the little girl from the house. I'm talking about Roland's daughter.
Roland's daughter. Okay.
Yeah. But again, so while they're talking, I'm just going to be looking in my book.
Yeah, and you wanted to walk over to the doorway, right?
Yeah, I wanted to walk over the doorway, look again, like I said, for any like hidden doors or wires or something to make this guy come and go.
Okay,
And,
so yeah. Okay,
and look to my spiritual advisors.
Okay, so you walk over to the doorway, and you give a thorough look around. And I won't make you roll a spot hidden because there's nothing. There's no tracks. There's no wires. There's no trap door. There's nothing that in any way seems to you that what you saw was anything other than some sort of vision. Maybe a spiritual creature of some sort, but nothing makes you think that it was a physical being.
Okay, well, oddly enough, I'm going to show these guys my journal entry, and I show that my spiritual advisor, Aisha, she says that there's a quote in there that says, "I have a lantern, and I'm going to enter the sub-basement. It's actually hidden behind the church's fireplace in the cellar." I almost
thought that's where we were.
But as I pass the fireplace, something about the three soldiers disappears into ether. Ether. It might be something else as it trails off.
So yes, actually, I should have clarified that the small staircase down was originally, it looked like it was hidden by some sort of pushed aside fireplace. It was originally some sort of a hidden passage. So that area that she seems to be describing looks like it was the crypt that you guys just came from.
Ah,
I'm
gotcha.
getting the impression there's nothing here to find. I think we already found everything. You're probably right. We should probably head home before catch pneumonia and die anyways.
Oh, it's hot. You're not going to get pneumonia. You're already sweating.
Heat pneumonia, it's the worst kind.
Heat stroke.
I know. All right. Well,
Let's start heading back, I guess, through the woods.
Okay.
all right.
Shotgun is out the entire time.
Yeah, I assume all your weapons are out.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you step out of the church and through the thick, dense thunderclouds, which it is raining, I want this to clarify, and there is lightning. It is not a massive storm as you thought in the crypt yet. However, you can surmise that whatever is coming is moving your way. So you do have a small window of opportunity, it seems, to get out safe. But it is still wet, and the mud path that leads to the cottage between the houses sinks between your shoes as the three of you walk out into the rain. And Henry puts on his hat, which he doesn't have. The one time he needs. There we go. Now pour water on yourself so it looks more authentic. So, as you walk out, you get the eerie sense of being watched. And One person give me a power roll, a POW roll.
Power?
Yeah.
Jarrett?
Mine's 65. What are you guys?
I'm at 50.
I'm at 60.
Okay, well, my Roland's been... my Roland's dead. Shot in the back of the head.
Oh. Success.
All right, yes.
Okay, so, Jarrett, you're in the back. You said your gun was not drawn, correct?
That is correct.
Just want to make sure. And you take a look at the woods beyond the building to your left and right, the crumbled building to your left and the still standing building to your right. And you see amongst the trees in the woods, just through the thin layer of rain, dots, many of them. And as you stare, you see what looks to be eyes. The reflection of your flashlights just illuminates the small eyes. And as you turn it, or your pen light, I should say, and as you turn it, you see a sea of eyes just on the cusp of the woods.
Now, am I thinking crows again?
You could be. They are reflecting as if the eyes are black.
If they were crows, you'd only see one eye at a time.
True.
Unless
these
there
are
are two crows beside each other looking at you.
So,
Do you let us
So
know?
again, I point
Jared?
to... Yeah, absolutely. I'm like grabbing you guys by the shoulders. Hey.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's pick up the pace a little bit.
okay. So you start jogging a little bit towards the area of the wood. And in your... Who's leading the way?
I'll lead.
Okay. Frank, so you have your 38. It's a 38, right?
It's a
Or
revolver.
22.
I don't know.
38
It's a
revolver, though?
It does 1d10 damage.
So
Magnum.
it could be. We'll say sure. Oh, whatever. Either way, you have your revolver out. And in your free hand, you have the map. And you're trying to kind of surmise where it would be. So you run behind the church. Based on the layout, it looks like it would be towards the back of the church.
Yeah.
And as you do, you continually peer over each shoulder. And give me... you continually peer over each shoulder, and you see what Jared has pointed out to you. And Henry, you as well. Look side to side with your shotgun drawn. And slowly, more and more eyes look like they appear on the sidelines. And they become more populated as the woods begin kind of coming in towards you as you run towards it. And Frank, you arrive at a wall of trees, and you look down at the map. Roll and navigate, which I believe is a skill.
Ho-ho! Well, apparently I've only got... Well, I should have 10% because it starts at 10%, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's got 5 on my sheet.
Ooh, even lower.
That's
Navigate.
a fail.
Yeah, no, you added 5, so you're at 15.
Oh, I see, okay.
But you fail anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you run into the woods, confident of your decision, and the three of you kind of continue on. And you're running for what feels like a lot longer than the map predicts. And after a short amount of time, you come to a thick alcove of trees that are very dense. And you look behind you, and you see the guys behind you. And they look at you, and it's pretty clear that you're lost.
We're fine, guys. Let's keep going.
So you continue on.
Frank, give me the map. You don't know where we are. You lost us.
What, you think you're a better navigator than I am?
No, I just know that we're lost. We can't get any worse. I'll give it a try. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm not any better.
Okay, so Henry, you confidently take the map and say this way, and you start walking. And the three of you are now shoulder to shoulder as the eyes are continually in the woods, and the rain is starting to pick up. And it's starting to barrel down, and even the clouded sky is now almost hidden beneath, above the canopy of trees. And you stop again. And Jared, give me a Knowledge roll. No, give me a give me a knowledge roll.
Yeah, so I'm good.
Okay, so you stop again and you peer around at the eyes in the trees, and you notice that all of them are gone. That what was on your tails moments ago is almost completely gone, and as you listen, the sound of thunder and rain almost completely fades out. And you look towards
weird to anyone?
Well, you look towards Henry, and you look towards Frank, and you realize, looking down at you, Henry's back is to you, Frank's back is to you, and another man's back is to you. And there's 4 of you standing close together in the middle of the woods.
And I will tap that man on the shoulder. Be like...
So you reach out your hand. But
at the same time, like, tap in, like, Frank?
So you reach out your hand and you tap the man on your shoulder. And Henry turns around.
What? Jared, what do you want? I know we're lost. I can't figure it out. Do you want to look at the map?
Now, looking around, can I see this other guy?
Yes, his back is still to you, and it looks like Henry.
So I point
I imagine I don't see this guy.
Henry, do you see this guy?
No, you all see a man standing with his back towards you, which looks like Henry.
So I step back and I say, who the hell? And I also go and try to tap him on the shoulder.
So as you tap him on the shoulder, he turns around, and your small pen light begins flickering. And when it turns around, you see the face of a goat with large black horns and black eyes. And it screams at you with a wide open mouth. And in a flash, your pen light flicks off and back on, and it's gone.
Sanity roll.
Yeah.
I failed. 1d4 again?
We're going to do 1d... Yeah, 1d4, but 1d4, not halved.
I lose another 2 points.
Are we all doing sanity, or was that special?
Oh yeah, no, everyone.
Damn it.
Jerry, can you try to see if you can navigate? I'm going to see if I can recognize anything. Maybe we passed something. I'm going to take a look at the trees and see if they look familiar at all.
Perfect.
So, what would this be under? Navigate or
whatever you'd like to
nature?
justify. It could be spot hidden if you're looking, or knowledge if you're looking for a similar thing you've seen before.
Okay, I will. We don't have a knowledge per se.
I thought there was. Maybe not. There used to be. So yeah, let's just say.
There's like.
Yeah.
Let's do spot hidden.
Sure.
So I'm successful. It's a hard success.
Hard. Perfect. Okay. So you do notice something that kind of brings back memories, and it's 3 large black trees.
Is that what we're near?
Yes.
We're far north. We are north of where we want to go.
All right, well, why don't we just go to the trees? We'll be back on course.
Yeah, let's get there at least so we have some sort of idea where we are.
Perfect. So you head over to the trees, and once you get there, you immediately recall the way you got here, and you turn south, and as you're walking through the back of the lot, you see the mansion on the horizon, as lightning kind of illuminates it. And you continue.
Yeah.
Good. So as you walk towards the back of the house, a bolt of lightning, 2 in quick succession. The first one, again, illuminates the entire mansion. And again, you see the figure standing on top. Its long fingers drawn out in a menacing kind of fashion on either side of it. And its horns just against the night sky. And in the second flash... and in the second flash, it's gone again.
Do you shoot your gun? Do you shoot at it?
Yeah, I'm still going to shoot where it was.
You didn't have your gun out, so you'd have to get your gun out and then shoot.
Yeah, that's fine.
So by the time you shoot, you've actually seen it gone, but you shoot anywhere. And,
that is correct, yes.
Yeah. And in the night, it echoes like a crack of lightning. And immediately, Henry and Frank kind of Because you're at the back too. They're probably pretty shocked at you.
And I probably blew their
We might
ears
not
out.
be.
Come on, man.
Jared,
Put that away.
we don't even know if he's really there. I think our minds are playing tricks on us.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I think Henry's right.
we're all having the same hallucination?
I don't know what's going on.
That'd be wicked weird. There's no way.
Yeah, you're right.
Just make it back to the car and get back to Arkham.
Okay. So you continue around the front of the house, and you run towards the car, and you stick the key in, and it opens. Who's
pretty bad
driving?
conditions right now. Anybody good driver?
I'm going to
pretty
first
good.
check the back seat and check everything else. Make sure there's nothing in there.
I'll get in
Okay.
and start the car.
I'm going to put my shotgun probably in the trunk, too.
Okay. So you throw your shotgun in the trunk. You check the back seat, Jarrett.
Yeah, I would get in the back and be, at this point, holding the gun and looking up on the roof. Or, sorry, the roof.
All right. So you continue looking at the roof, and you're watching, and you see nothing. And Chris, as you shut the trunk, you run around to the front seat, confident that there's nothing in the back, and you enter the passenger side. And Justin, you start up the car without any issue.
Let's get out of here,
You
guys.
still have that mirror?
Yeah.
Oh
which
yeah.
Mirror, which mirror did he grab?
No,
Remember.
Edward broke it. You don't need it.
He broke it. I hope he broke it off the right side. It doesn't really matter that much. I don't need it.
It's going to be the left side.
So
Now, as we're going, I'm going to try to, again, do little etchings from my memory, again, of the grave, of the two bodies in the grave, and of the goat-headed man on top of the roof.
Perfect.
all right, and I get out of the car.
Okay.
I say, just a second.
Frank,
It's all right, 1 second. And I go and I just check the tracks behind the car. I just want to check and see if the driveway is muddy.
It is muddy, but not so much. It's a fresh mud. Again, it's only been raining for maybe however long you're stuck in the woods, plus the time it started in the basement, so not that long.
So it doesn't look like it'll get the car stuck before all
No,
setting.
not this pathway, no.
Okay, all right. So I say, all right, throw it, guys, never mind. And I begin backing up down the driveway.
Perfect. Okay.
Actually, no, I'll turn around. I'll do a 3-point turn and go.
Okay.
forward.
So you do a 3-point turn, and you start heading down the driveway, and the rain and winds begin picking up immediately as you head down the driveway.
Nice.
And the long... Sorry?
Nice and slow, nice and slow.
Yeah, of course. Of course. So, you guys continue driving through the rain, and it starts picking up as you're continuing. And very soon, the storm, which looks to be heading south towards Arkham, the way you're going, are kind of lashing out like it's the end of the world. And despite trying to beat it, it looks like you're starting to hit the main portion of the storm. And already the roadway is becoming a quick form of abyssal black, and it's
Frank, maybe we should pull over.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay. So you're basically starting to pull over, and as you are doing it, you're rounding where you remember Orchard's Run was, and you're starting to slow down, and just as you do, your lights flash across the gaunt face of a young woman. Roll a drive.
Success.
Success, perfectly. So you slam the brakes, but you're already going at a fairly slow speed that you actually stop, Kevin McAllister style, right in front of her face, even if you are a bit with your backside onto the road. And she stares at the hood of the car, and she slams her hands down on it and screams, "Help me!" And you immediately recognize her as Amelia Webb, the young woman who served you breakfast this afternoon at her bed and breakfast just up the road.
Henry, help him. I turn off the car and I roll sanity because
Yeah, I hop out. I grab her. I said, "What, Amelia? What are you doing in here?"
That is the ghost on the roof. There's a goat on the roof. There's a goat on the roof. So she stares at you and she just says, "Help me, help me, help me."
Amelia, what do you need?
The rain is now pouring down and soaking.
I take my
hair.
coat off and I put it on her.
Oh,
Cover
that's
up.
nice.
I say, Amelia, what do you need?
And she just stares at you and she motions to get into the car.
Our car or hers?
She has no car. She's standing in the middle of the road.
What is she
So
wearing?
I open the door and I help her in to sit beside Jarrett.
Okay. So she kind of walks in, and again, the humidity from the rain has just soaked you all the way through, and it's even warmer in the car as the front windscreen starts to steam a bit. And Jarrett, she is wearing the same thing you saw her wear this morning, or this afternoon, I should say.
Yeah, so to refresh my memory, I've been through a lot tonight, or this afternoon, and so those little details... Basically what I want to know is, as she's stepping into the car,
Yeah.
I also want to see if I could see her legs to see if she's also got a similar tattoo.
Okay, give me a spot hidden.
And it's very wet and dark, and the skirt's a little longer than perhaps I was hoping for.
Weren't we all?
Weren't we all?
So no, she does not have a tattoo. So you're parked now at the well, you don't. No, you don't see it. You would see it anyway. There's nothing there. So you're parked at the side of the road, and the rain is now barreling down, as the wind is also picking up, spinning the windshield to an almost unable to see portion.
We're stopped though, right?
You are stopped.
And
Emily,
I'm going
what
to try
are you-
to use...
What are you doing out there, Miss Webb? What were you doing out there?
So she just kind of stares straight forward through beside Jarrett and Henry. Are you in the back with her, Henry?
I know I'm turned around in the front seat. Jarrett's in the
Okay.
back.
She stares right past you through the front windshield, almost catatonic.
What are you
Emily,
looking at?
Miss Webb, we want to help you, but you gotta let us know what you're doing out here. I'm gonna try to persuade her,
Okay.
and I'm going to fail.
And
Okay,
I was,
so she
I was going to try to
continues,
use psychoanalysis and calm her down.
Okay, well, he fails his persuade first, so she puts her hands in front of her face, just kind of shaking, and kind of curls up into a ball in the back seat. And you can try your psychoanalysis too, but it's going to be at a much tougher difficulty.
That's okay. It's like super critical.
Is it extreme?
It's extreme.
For your which psychoanalysis?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so you... Well, tell me how you do it.
So I just sort of rub her back a little, and I say, it's okay. You're here now. We're with you. It's okay. Let it out. What,
Okay.
Hey,
What
I would
happened?
I'd like to point out that if this is psychoanalysis, the Freudian thing, then likely your perspective would be she's hysterical.
And likely it's a mother. It's a mother's fault.
It's mother
Just because it's psychoanalysis doesn't have to be Freudian. There's many different options. That's only one. Anyway, so you slowly start rubbing her back, and you tell her that, and she slowly sits back up, and she looks as though she kind of tucks in Henry's coat a little tighter, and she looks towards Jarrett, and as if she's about to say something, and then her jaw just drops open as she looks past you to the woods behind you.
I lock all the doors.
Okay.
I say, Miss Webb, Miss Webb, you're safe in here.
Okay. But she just stares at the woods and starts shaking.
What is
I
it
say,
you're
do you-
afraid of?
You ask her what is she afraid of, and she points to the woods that she's looking at.
Woods, they're woods.
Yes, trees are bad people.
I'm just picturing this in a movie format where you guys, what's the matter? And she's like looking behind you, and you're like, but what's wrong? She's like, and you're like, I don't understand. What's
Can
wrong?
I see anything in the
Look at
woods from the car, or is it way too hard?
It's weird. She spoke English this morning.
Yeah. Anyway, so you turn around, and you don't see anything in the woods at first. But because each of you are looking, give me a group spot hidden. So whoever is the highest.
Henry.
Successful.
Successful. So you kind of squint, and in the woods, you see a white light. And it sort of floats behind the tree line. And slowly it moves between the trees as it grows larger, coming towards you.
Well,
And she just continues pointing.
And I start the car.
yeah,
And
Frank,
she
let's
smacks
go
on the back of your seat, Frank, and she's like, "Drive! Drive!"
All right, we're going.
So roll drive to see if it starts up.
What?
Do it.
It's a pass.
Is
Do you know- Do you know who that is, Amelia?
It is. It is a pass.
Okay. I believe you.
That's Frank Underhill.
I've got 70 drive.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so
If not, he can buy his frickin' way out of this.
I will give you $200 right now.
credit rating.
Do not kill us. So you start the car up and you slam on the gas and you peel out of there just as the three guys, or the two guys looking behind, see this white light, almost like a floating sludge, whip tentacles out onto the main road and continue past to the woods on the other side. And it's almost like a moving mist, but it takes a liquid form. And it continues on the other side. And as you're driving...
I'd like to retract my earlier statement about nothing actually is supernatural, and it's just we don't understand it. I'd like to retract that statement, and maybe perhaps I was a little uneducated in the ways of such things.
It takes a big man to say that, Jarrett. Penalty die. No, I'm just kidding. So, Frank, you barrel down the road, and you see on the horizon burning bright lights of a gas station, which is just, well, basically on the outskirts, the part of Orchards Run. Orchards Run is a very small town that you guys stayed in, with the bed and breakfast up on a high hill. And as you approach, you see a large 18-wheeler passing just beyond the gas station, which looks to be blocking the road.
They had 18-wheelers back then?
Yeah, but they were horse-drawn.
Well, it's a flat bed, but I wanted to make it absolutely clear that you wouldn't be able to pass it, so I just went with 18-wheeler.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
If you want to get technical.
And I brake and I say, I think this is the end of the road, guys. And lady.
Oh, okay. So you brake, and you're now sitting in the middle of the highway with a large truck blocking the way to Arkham, and to your left, again, are the bright lights of the gas station. And in the gas station is a small diner. There are a few cars parked out front, and just beyond is the large hill that was heading up to the bed and breakfast.
All right, so I pull in there.
Okay. And as you're pulling, you go rather close to the 18-wheeler. Does anyone want to roll a spot hidden for me?
That's my job. Hard success, or hard success.
Ooh. Okay, so you see the moon. You see craters on the moon. You see everything. You see a Martian waving. Okay, no, you do see that the wheels of the truck are half sunken into the mud. Just so it doesn't look like it's just been left there.
So the guy's stuck. Is there a driver in the seat?
No, in fact, the passenger or the driver door is open.
All right. Want to explore that?
Maybe the driver's in the diner.
So you putt up to the cafe or the diner, and you see a few people inside, 4 people, and you see one man violently making arm gestures, and you see that's about all you can see as you pull up. And Amelia still kind of looks shaken in the back.
All right, Amelia. Then I turn off the car. I say, we're going to get you inside, we're going to give you some food, and we're just going to relax. We're off the road, we're away from the woods. Everything's going to be all right.
So she just kind of stares at you blankly and gets out of the car with Henry and Jarrett. Okay, so you head inside?
I'd say so. Get out of the rain.
And you step on a landmine. You didn't do a spot hidden. Dead. Ha!
Oh, it always gets us.
All
Damn
right,
it.
boys.
All that great work Princess Di was doing. Princess Di, it's like just the anniversary of her passing, and she did a lot with
She didn't step
landmines
on a
around the
mine.
world.
Oh,
No, she didn't step on it, but she did a lot for like mines. Like,
Oh, I see.
No, it was
read a
minors.
fucking book, guys.
She did a
Seriously.
lot for minors, young people.
I read books.
And she had a few gold mines. Anyway, so you step in, and you're just catching what seems to be a lively discussion between a man who's standing with his back towards you and a woman behind the counter. And he's kind of mid-screaming. I don't care if you call the goddamn sanitarium, Doreen. I'm telling you the fucking truth. And an older couple is still in their coats, covered in water or rain. They're standing with their backs to you near the door as well. And the older woman, man and woman, kind of recoils slightly at the man's harsh tone and kind of shakes off his cussing. And the large, portly man is yelling across the cafe at a quiet but annoyed-looking woman who's standing on the other side of the counter. And another waitress stands to one side holding a pot of coffee, kind of listening. And just then the bathroom door opens, and another heavyset man with a mustache walks out, and he starts talking to the guy. Jack, what the fuck is your problem? I can hear you screaming your head off all the way in the back. And he turns to the older couple standing next to you, and he goes, sorry for the cussing, man. And Jack turns to him and then looks at you guys and looks back. And he says,
salutations.
Yeah. And the man with the mustache comes out and says, oh, welcome. Grab yourself a seat and we'll help you. And Jack says, listen, you guys need to listen to me. There's something out there in them woods.
All right, well, Jarrett, do you mind taking Amelia and sitting her down at that table over there?
Absolutely.
So Amelia kind of shakingly walks with you, Jared, and she kind of looks around nervously. And
now, I know she's really nervous, so I'm not going to sit her by a window. I think we'd sit her at the counter, away from the windows, so she's not looking out into the darkness.
Okay. So you sit her down at the booth.
And then I walk back over to Frank, and I'm like, "Excuse me, Frank. Don't mean to be a bum, but can you buy her a coffee or something? I got nothing."
Yeah, I got it.
And as you walk over to pay for her coffee, you see the woman, the quiet woman that was having a discussion, kind of walks over, takes the coffee pot from the other waitress, and fills up a coffee cup in front of Amelia and slides it over and says, "Here, Amelia." As Frank, you kind of walk over.
Oh, I guess you would know her. All right.
Yeah, where's she been? She came up from down the road. A whole bunch of wacky stuff's been going on tonight.
Yeah.
And as you talk, you see the man who was yelling walk over to the other heavyset man with the mustache, and they continue discussing more quietly in the corner.
Well, we've seen a lot of weird stuff ourselves. Henry. Oh, by the way, my name is Frank. This is Henry and Jarrett. And we're just coming from up north. Now, what sort of weird stuff you say is going on? I'd love a cup of coffee too, by the way, and I slide $1 bill onto the.
And she says, yeah, of course. And she fills up a few cups, looks at the thing, and turns to the other waitress and says, Mary, can you please put on another pot? And Mary kind of nods and walks out. And as she's doing so, she says, yeah, no, my name's Doreen. I don't know what the hell's going on. About 10 minutes ago, this big truck there pulls over the side of the road. Jake comes barreling in, stands where you're standing now, starts screaming at everybody that there's something in the woods. That's about as much as I know. And as you guys are sitting in this room, the storm outside is again coming down even harder, like it's the end of the world. You almost have to speak louder over. Maybe it's zombie apocalypse. You need to speak over
the angry deer.
You have to speak over the rain, which is barreling down on the roof.
Well, yeah, we've seen some weird things as well.
I'm gonna look them over for tattoos as well.
Okay, who for tattoos?
The room, everybody, except for.
Okay.
You just start pulling up pant legs.
No, I mean it's obvious. Forearms,
Nope.
necks, face tattoos if they're really, committed.
Okay, so you do.
Oh, wait a second, that guy's got a face tattoo.
So you give a cursory glance to everybody, kind of obviously, but you're just weird, I guess, and they're kind of like, no, but you don't notice anything on any of the main participants in this area.
So other than that, you haven't seen anything weird?
So Doreen kind of just leans back and says, well, hell, I see a lot of weird stuff, nothing that he's talking about.
Okay. Well, how well do you know this Amelia here?
Oh, Amelia runs the bed and breakfast up the road with her granddaddy.
Hey, and I gesture her to the side.
Okay, and Doreen walks over and kind of leans on the counter.
I say, she looked pretty spooked. We picked her up on the road. She was standing out there in the middle of the rain. We don't know her too well, and getting in a car with three men, naturally she didn't speak up to us, but I'm damn curious as to what's going on with her, what happened to her, what she saw. Would you be able to speak with her? I think she'd opened up to you.
Yeah, I guess I can do that. Roll a whatever you want. Persuade, psychology, whatever you want.
Can I get an advantage?
Can I get an amen? A bonus die? Sure. I like the cut of your jib.
You like the cut of my jib, eh?
I like the approach. It makes sense in trying to hit her head on.
Oh, shite. Okay, so...
And realistically, there would be an advantage to having a friend talk to her rather than you. Well, that would be for getting information, but still, yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, I would. I'm not a terribly persuasive person to begin with, though, so we will see what happens.
Whoop, whoop.
All right, 19. Nope. No dice.
It would be 16, I think.
16?
Yeah, because you used the... Basically, you'd roll 16, and then you rolled an 80 and a 10. So is 16 hit?
What did you say I rolled?
16. Do you go with 16?
No, I don't.
You don't succeed with 16? Really?
I could
What's
use
your
luck
persuade?
on a charm. My persuade is 10. I didn't put anything into it.
Oh, well, you could always spend luck points. It's only 6 luck points.
But you say I've got... I still don't understand the 16 story.
It's the bonus die system. That's how it works. You roll...
Because you got like the 1 on the 19 and the
Yeah.
6 out of the 86.
Exactly. You
So
always...
the 1 counts as 10s.
Yeah, we just roll it that way because we don't have the option. But realistically, you go between 80 and 10 and the second number of the first die. So it's either going to be 86 or 16.
Okay, then I'm going to try to charm her. I'm going to use... so I'll use 1 luck to charm her into going, because I've got 15 charm.
Huh?
Right.
Oh, you can't switch halfway after rolling. No, you can spend 6 if you want to bump it down.
Okay, no, I'm not going to do that then.
Although, I guess we can say that you were going to charm her in the first place.
Yeah, because that's the higher of the rolls.
Sure. Spend a luck and we'll put it down. Because
All right.
realistically, you would have done charm had you realized, probably. So.
Yeah.
All right, so she kind of looks over to you. Oh, by the way, just for future reference, because I just thought about this, you could have used credit rating as well.
Oh, no, I just used luck. Oh, well. That's okay.
No, it's you passed. But just to think about it, I totally forgot that you have that kind of as a conversation piece.
That's my thing.
So she, only with bums though. So
Right.
she kind of looks at you and she stares at Henry behind you, and she stares at Jarrett, and she slides them each a cup of coffee and says, "You guys look like you could use this too." And she
I said,
Goes like
sorry,
this
I don't have money for that.
And she said, well, your friend here just paid for it. Come here, sweetheart. And she motions to you, Henry.
Yeah, I walk over.
And she pulls out a cloth, and she grabs you by the scruff of your neck, and she pulls you close and starts wiping down your face.
Oh, thank you.
And you see when she pulls away, there's the red blood of Roland's blood that was on your face. She kind of says, "We'll just pretend that was something else." And she walks over to Amelia, and you see her kind of quietly talk, and she goes, "How you doing, hon?" And they're kind of in a hushed tone.
Okay, can I do psychology at this point on the lady that just wiped off Henry's face? Because that seems a little too calm for me.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Does that not seem weird?
I know what you're saying, yeah. No, especially someone from your background would think that's weird.
Yeah, so does it seem out of place? Does it seem weird that she's just so calm that, hey, it's a stormy night and these three strangers walk in and they got blood all over them?
Well,
and I'll just be like, here, let me touch that up, Sonny.
Doreen is surprisingly whip smart. You can see this immediately by the kind of the thought behind her eyes as she kind of surmises and kind of sums everything up. You do see, based on your psychology roll and the way she's interacting with Amelia right now, that Amelia does have some blood on her as well. And the possibility of some cuts beneath her. So she might have surmised that something happened that. However, Doreen is an older woman, a waitress. She's on in years. She also looks like she's seen some shit. And she doesn't look like she gets startled pretty easily. A lot of this area, you know, is pig farmers and people who are always getting in fights and stuff like that. It's very backwoods. So no, she's
more
kind of
ignorant farmers.
Ignorant pig farmers.
Well, maybe. And as you think that, you hear the man in the corner.
Honestly, we don't got anything against farmers. Honestly, I don't.
Speak for yourself.
Well, as you say that, the man who was screaming earlier goes, "Sam, now you fucking listen to me, Sam. I'm a pig farmer. I know what the fuck I'm talking about." And he continues talking quietly to Sam. Sam's like, all right.
I'm going to try to listen in on their conversation.
Okay. Give me a listen roll.
Nope. The rain is too loud.
It is. And,
all the same, I'm going to walk over and sit with them.
Yeah, I'll join you, Frank, Henry.
so give me an operate heavy machinery roll.
That's my time to shine. That's me.
So you walk over
What kind of
and
stools are these?
you just kind of you set in all three of you, or just Frank and Henry.
Yeah, no, I think at this point I'd still be with Amelia and just trying to, comfort her because I was able to do it in the car, so...
Okay. So you approach the conversation that Amelia and Doreen are having, and Doreen kind of gives you an eye. And kind of says, "Jarrett, right?"
Yes, ma'am.
And Amelia kind of looks at you nervously, and you can tell that she stopped talking when you've approached.
Oh, well, then sensing that, I would be like, oh, excuse me, I just gotta go. You got a washroom in here?
She says, "Yeah, just around the corner." And Doreen kind of nods knowingly and appreciates you taking a step back.
So you just go to the washroom and stand there awkwardly for a bit?
Well, no, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
It's been a while since you pooped.
It's true.
Not
I was
me,
actually
not
thinking the
like
same
people.
thing. I probably need to wipe off a little bit from being shot at like shot with the gun, not shot. You know what I'm saying?
Shat
I was shot at.
I shat at. All right, so you enter the bathroom and you sit on the toilet and you start crying. And Henry and Frank, you walk over to the conversation, and Jack kind of gives you the look. Jake, I should say. Jake is the name of the man. As you hear approaching, Sam refers to him. "Listen, Jake, you need to." And Jake kind of turns to you and almost welcomes you into the conversation, turning his foot in a way that would. And he says, "You guys came out of there. Did you see it?"
What are you talking about? Explain to me what you saw.
Sam kind of knowingly kind of gives a humoring him nod and looks towards you and says, "Yeah, what is that there?" And Jake says, "Like I've been telling you, like I've been telling all of you, there's something out there that I don't know what the fuck it is." And as he says it, you hear a little, "Huh." as the old couple by the front door again just kind of, I never. And after waiting for long enough, they kind of murmur between each other and go into a booth sitting down. And Jake continues, there's something out there. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it ran right in front of my truck. It was this, it didn't have a shape. It was like a light.
Like it's like tentacles. And...
Sort of, but it was bright. It was like a beam, like a high beam. And this is exactly what you guys saw. Something that had like an amorphous mist-like shape and yet was bright, as if it was protruding light into the world. Which is why you could see it so far back in the trees.
I saw it too.
And Sam kind of looks at you and rolls his eyes.
Yeah, you can roll your eyes at me if you want, but I know what I saw.
Hey, you say your name is Sam?
Yeah.
Sam, it's good to meet you. I don't know if you heard our introductions. Frank, Henry, our friend back there is Jared. So you haven't seen anything strange yourself? I'm assuming.
No. The only thing strange that's happened in the last however many hours, the phone's out.
All right.
I guarantee that's because of the storm. We got hit with a bolt of lightning not too long ago.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, the whole place shook. Deafening when it hits you close up. But like, it's not... I don't know what you guys saw. Maybe it was passing headlights on the highway.
Maybe. How far is it to Arkham right now?
Oh, well, you would know this because you guys stopped here. It's probably 2 hours, maybe.
All right, 2-hour drive to Arkham. And tell me about that old couple over there. How long have they been here?
Oh, they walked in maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes after you, or 5 minutes before you. They just pulled up. I think they're just getting out of the storm. This is not driving weather.
No, definitely not.
And Jake kind of interrupts and says, you're fucking damn right it's not driving weather. No one should be out there. There's something out there. And he's like, fuck it. And he walks to the counter and he holds out his cup for more coffee and starts smacking against the counter. Hey, coffee!
And I say, Henry, you want to go speak to him?
Yeah, I'll see if I can get any information out of him. Can I go over to Jake? I'll be like, Jake, you around from here? You from around here?
Yeah, I'm just up the road. I'm just I don't know, maybe a mile off the main road towards the B&B. I just own a pig farm.
Have you ever gone by that house over on a couple streets over? It's an old house, you know. I don't think people live there anymore.
A Polish family?
No, it doesn't ring a bell. And you guys know, based on when Roland drove you there, that the driveway is almost non-existent. There's no markers. It's overgrown, and the entire lot looks like it's not meant to exist.
What are you doing out here?
What?
Why'd you get stuck in the storm? Where were you driving from?
I was starting the haul, taking all the pigs. There's pigs in that truck out there. Taking some of my pigs to Arkham to slaughter and sell. And for some reason, even though I'm in Massachusetts, I got a southern accent. So fuck you.
So you're talking to Jake now?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, and Jarrett, you're sitting on the toilet. You wipe and flush. Is there anything you want to do? Besides number 2?
Jarrett Coombs?
Yeah, I was actually kind of waiting patiently. I didn't want to cut in. I was wondering if I could come out of the bathroom now.
Of course.
But essentially all I want to do at this point is find a booth just by myself and do little etchings of the people in the bar, and maybe as I catch like words or comments from the conversations, also just write them down like little word bubbles, like the penny comics.
So you're insane. No,
pretty much.
Okay, so you walk out kind of quietly and you sit down in a booth inconspicuously and you look around at the conversations and you see Henry speaking to Sam, you see Frank speaking with Jake, you see Doreen speaking with Amelia, you notice the older couple by the front door, and you notice the other waitress. Give me a psychology roll on the waitress.
Well, I think that's, that's a hot success. I'm
Excellent.
hot to the waitress.
Okay, so, and I'm giving you this because you're actually looking at each of the people and you're kind of surmising them. And You can see that the older couple looks pretty much like they're just trying to get out of the rain. You see Jake is very heated, obviously, but the waitress stands out because she's almost taken aback. While everyone else has a confused look or an angry look or a nervous look, she has a look of disdain, and she's staring at Amelia as she does have it. Every once in a while, she kind of changes her glance and goes about doing something. But when her eyes float back to Amelia, she kind of has a look of disgust and keeps moving. And Henry, you are talking to Sam. Frank, you're talking to Sam.
Yeah. All right, and this storm's been happening for a while now. I guess 45 minutes, an hour?
Yes, however, the first maybe half hour when you guys were, it didn't really pick up until you got into the car. So really it's only been hitting its kind of eye of the storm phase for the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
So now it's really coming down.
So tell me about Jake. What's his
Oh, Jake's all right. He's a regular. Never caused any trouble before, but well. And roll a charm, persuade.
Credit rating.
Credit rating. So you give him a buck?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I just look like someone who's worth speaking to, and I fail.
Okay, so he kind of gives you up and down and kind of says, I shouldn't be speaking out of turn. Jake's a good guy, and he's a good customer. I don't know why he's acting so silly, but...
So he's never acted like this before. No reason to believe he's psychologically unwell?
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but...
Well, something out there. It's clear that something's really spooked him.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't think it's anything that he's talking about. I don't even know what he's talking about. A light? A white light? Nah.
Well, what do you think it is?
Give another credit rating.
Hey! Hey! Boom!
Whoa! No, so he says, you know what, mister, I don't know you, and you're a bit nosy. I appreciate it, but if you want something, go to the counter and order something. And he walks away. Henry, so you're standing there with Jake, who's kind of pissed off, slamming his cup, as the waitress with the name tag Mary walks over and fills up his cup, kind of nods to you and heads up and takes a drink. What do you want now?
Still talking to Jake?
Yeah, you're talking to Jake, right?
Just want to tell you I saw it too. I know what you saw.
And he turns around. You saw it too.
Whatever
What
the hell it was. I have no idea. Wasn't human. Wasn't of this world. Did you see the tentacles? The way it moved?
Yeah. It looked like it almost was dragging itself. And yet it floated in a weird way. I've never seen anything like that. And I know what Sam's going to say.
What's he gonna say?
Oh, well. Roll persuade.
Yeah. No dice.
No?
No, I got 68. I
What's
got
your
60.
persuade?
60.
Ah.
Maybe I'll push it. Let's push it. I'm gonna push it. So do I roll again? Is that how that works?
If you're gonna push it, you roll again. Yeah. Okay.
I'll push it. Yeah. So do I have to spend something to push it, or just I might have a bad repercussion?
No, you're just gonna have a bad repercussion if you push it.
Nope. Fail.
Oh.
What's he
So
gonna say?
Jake turns to you, and he says, "You know what? You're just fucking humoring me. You don't know what the hell you're talking about." And he takes a long sip of the hot coffee, and he pushes the cup aside, and he grabs a flask within him, and he takes a long drink of that. He says, "Yeah, Sam." And Sam's looking behind the counter at him like, and he kind of nods to you, Frank, being like, "This is what I'm talking about." And he takes a long drink, and he says, "You all think I'm fucking crazy, all right? You think you don't know what the fuck I've seen." And everyone's kind of quiet, and Doreen sits up from Amelia. And Amelia she looks white as she watches Jake walk towards the door. He says, well, fuck all you. He takes a long drink and he tosses a canteen. He says, I'll see you in hell. And he walks out the door. And he takes maybe 10 feet and he stands out in the parking lot, rain pouring down as everyone in the cafe kind of runs to the window and watches. And he starts walking farther and farther away, and through the bolts of lightning and the lights of the gas station, you see him. And he slowly starts spinning around. And from the woods on the other side of the road, you see it. A very faint light grow larger behind him. And he stands there. And he says, you still fucking don't believe me? And he starts walking with a good distance away towards the cafe. And
I rush to the door.
Okay. And he walks to the door and he goes to open it.
Yeah, no, I open it. Yeah, I let him in.
Okay, perfect. So you, he goes to open it, and the door swings open, and the white thing is slowly crawling its way across the street, and in a flash, it goes right on him and wraps a white tentacle of smoke around his leg, and you hear a scream from his mouth right into the cafe as everyone jumps, and Amelia starts crying immediately, and he gets pulled away as if nothing in the world could stop him. And he's already in the center of the gas station.
Can I run out and try to use the gas station to light the thing on fire?
Chris, you and I are on like the same. You and I are on like the same plane tonight, because that's what I was just waiting for Harlan to give me a break to jump in with that.
You can do that if you want.
Let him go, kind of thing.
Hands down, and I'm going to do this because you would know, it will kill all of you. It will blow up everything.
What?
It would blow up everything. Yeah, it would.
No one wouldn't.
No,
It would blow up everything.
The way I
lit
In
a
this
gas
world, in
station
this
on
game,
fire.
okay. In this
I'm
game,
going to go, in any world, if you light a gas station on fire, it will blow up everything.
I
But
don't think
we'll
so.
say there's a huge propane tank right next to it. And
If you get
16
the nozzle, it's old school ones, which it would be one of those pump ones where you'd spray it out as you pressurize it. In which case, it would be like a aerosol can or something like that.
It's like a flick-on switch. It's flick on and starts pouring out, which means it would follow it straight back in the hose and blow it up. It's the 1920s. Nothing clever like that. And even so,
I'm not going to argue because it's your game. But
I'm not going to argue. But let me
1920s,
argue for 5 minutes.
it would have been a pump one where you
So
pump and
he
pressurize it.
steps out, and the white light again engulfs him almost immediately, and it lifts him up into the air, and as if he's struck by like a rock, he almost writhes into an immediate straight up position, and he screams as the white light engulfs him, and everyone is just looking with their mouths open, and the older woman is just kind of screaming, and Amelia is sobbing. And through the thunder, you hear a blood-curdling scream as the crack of his bones, as if his skin was being torn off his skeleton. And after a moment, the light just dissipates, and all that's left is the twisted and unnatural pile of sinew and skin and blood as the rain starts washing away the stains of red under the flashes of lightning. And when the white light dissipates, again it crawls away as if it has no equal. It has no issue. It doesn't turn to you, it doesn't come after you. It is filled, and it simply walks off into the woods.
I open the door, and I walk out into the rain.
Okay.
I say, Frank, where the hell are you going? You saw that thing.
Come with me, Henry.
No chance in hell.
All right. Stay back here if you want. And I walk over to where, like, the remains are of him. Oh, by the way, sanity.
I rolled and passed
Yes. Let's all roll sanity, and even if you pass, it's going to be 1 point.
Okay.
Oh. Sorry, Alan.
So
What are we
failure is
doing?
going to be 1d6.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, this was a biggie.
Now, is there any way to cure it over time or anything like that?
Yes, there are ways to cure it, so we will investigate those as well when there's some downtime. But yeah, no, there are ways to get it back. Eating marbles, that's a big one. I don't know why.
I'll give it a shot.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. All right. So, Frank, you walk out, and the rain barrels down on you, and as you approach the corpse, you see it. Part of it's almost turned to ash. His hands and feet are ash as they wash away, and all that remains is kind of a twisted, mangled body with bones sticking out of it and a torn expression of pain on his face.
And I start looking for keys.
Okay. Nah, fuck it. Yeah, so you do. You find a set of keys.
Hey, you might be able to sacrifice the pigs to get away. Not a bad idea.
And I begin walking back and take a quick glance over my shoulder to make sure the white thing's not on its way back, and then continue on to the diner.
Yeah, no, you take a look around and you don't see any white things.
All right. So I guess from that point on, I would go straight to the truck.
Okay.
And,
By yourself?
No, I go to Henry.
Okay.
And I'll open the door and say, Henry, I'm moving the truck. We got to clear this road off if there are any other people trying to get through or back to Arkham. Are you going to come out with me, or are you still too chicken shit?
Oh!
Yeah, I'm chicken shit.
Jarrett, what about you? Sam?
And Sam just looks white, and he kind of backs up, stumbling towards the counter. Oh, God. Oh, God.
And what if the thing comes for you, Frank? What do you plan on doing then?
Probably what happened to our friend there. But I figure we sit in this diner. You think it's really going to protect us?
It didn't seem to notice us until he left and was outside.
Maybe. But I'm moving that truck.
Hey, Harlan?
Yeah.
At this point, I want to again take another look at that waitress. The one that...
Yeah, you do.
Just to see if she's like still looking like she's above this all, or just...
No, she still looks... well, give me a psychology roll.
Like, does she look startled, I guess is...
Yeah, give me a psychology roll, just in case we find anything new.
Yeah, so unfortunately not this time.
No, okay, so no, she looks genuinely startled. I mean, no one in the place looks like this is something comfortable with them.
Okay.
Everyone looks like shit's fucked up.
Because I was wondering maybe if the disdain was just because they do have the competition, like she's got a bed and breakfast and she's trying to run a diner.
Well,
I didn't know.
Mary is only a waitress there. Doreen is the manager, as well as what looks to be maybe Sam, maybe one's a shift manager, something like that. So that might be possible, but you would surmise that Mary might not have a stake in the restaurant. It looked like a larger disdain than something that simple.
Okay.
Can I go and
Not just
walk
like
over to Doreen
Yeah?
and see if she's made any headway figuring out what Miss Webb had happened to her?
So you give Doreen head?
Yes. I do.
All right. She's got a dick. All right, so you pull Doreen aside, and Amelia kind of, wipes the tears from her face, and she moves over to a booth to lie down. And Doreen, again, white as a sheet, just kind of looks at you.
What was she doing out here?
Well, who? What? Who?
Miss Webb, Emily.
Listen, I don't know what's going on, guys, but what she told me...
Look what we just saw.
No, I know. She mentioned something about her grandfather. Now, she owns the bed and breakfast up with the grandfather, up at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen him today.
It was pretty nice. Why was she out here?
She said that something came for her grandfather, and that she ran away. And that's as much as I got out of her.
She ran all the way out here?
She sounded like she was running from something really bad.
I'm gonna ask her outright.
You're gonna ask her out, right? Like, do you want to go on a date?
Hey, Amelia, do you feel responsible, or is there something you're holding back and not telling us about this thing? Like, where's your grandfather right now?
Yeah.
Why should we be concerned for him?
I'm going to say her mind is sort of mushy right now with the scene that she just saw, but we'll say if you give us another extreme psychology, she'll open her yap.
Well, it's not extreme. It's just like a pass.
Okay, so unfortunately, she continues lying down with her hands over her eyes, and she just kind of shakes her head.
Okay, so I'm going to take that as a yes.
But you do hear Henry speaking with Doreen, and Doreen goes on to again say she said something about her grandfather, something about the bed and breakfast, something something about a light, something about a light, and something about that killed him.
Like that light that we just saw? That's
and Doreen's kind of like, I guess. I have no idea. I wouldn't go up there. Oh, God. And she pours herself a cup of coffee.
Nothing like caffeine to settle those nerves.
And Frank, what are you doing? You were asking for help. No one really gave help, so you're now heading over to the truck, or?
Yep, I head to the truck and I take a look at the wheels. That looked like they were stuck before, right?
Yes, they are still stuck in the mud.
How deep? Does it look like I'd be able to drive it away with some cajoling and operating machinery?
With some pigs under the wheels, it'll help.
A little bit of machinery or something like that. Yeah, you could probably get it out if need be.
All right. Well, I'm just going to try to move it for now. I'll do an initial check and see how it goes.
Okay. So give us a roll. $81.
No, not quite.
Okay, so you think that it might be able to get moved, but it would need a weight distribution of some sort.
So, like something under the wheel to give it some leverage, or?
Yeah, I was thinking more. Yeah.
Or maybe if we let all the pigs off, so it's not weighed down so much.
No, you know what? You failed it. We'll just say no. You don't know how. Yeah, like it could be moved, but it needs drier land. It's sunk, and the longer it sits there, it's just continually. The front wheels are continually sinking. The drive wheels.
It seems to me that we stumbled across a year's worth of bacon.
I'm going to push it.
You're going to push an 18-wheeler? Oh, you're going to push the roll.
I'm going to push the roll.
Push it, Justin. See what happens.
I got a good chance of doing this, and I got a good chance of fucking it up for everyone.
All right, push it.
It's on a hill and it starts rolling towards
extreme success.
Okay, so you take another look at it, and you realize that while the wheels are sunk in the mud, it's not the drive wheels, and you're like, oh wait a minute, they're still on the road. So you start up the car and it's a big truck. So give me a drive, because you've never driven one before.
Not operate heavy machinery?
Sure, give me that then.
I was
worse. I was giving you an easy one. But
another extreme success.
Is that an extreme?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, so perfect. So yeah, you back that bitch up. You see me rolling.
Throwing dollar bills out the window.
That's you
credit rating.
Yeah, you pull it over to a pretty easy side of the road.
Yep. And I take a look around in the cabin, like in the compartment, see if I find any paper. Or,
the compartment?
The compartment? The carpet
sure.
market?
So give me a spot hidden.
Oh, jeez. This is not my area. Oh, I succeeded!
There, you used up all your extreme successes.
Woo!
So yeah, you do find an pretty much empty bottle of whiskey. There's about this much left in it. And it also looks like not the front of the car, but maybe 5 feet before the front of the car was hit by a bolt of lightning some time ago.
Oh, and it's still kicking. Oh, I see. Front.
Yeah, like the road before it. But by looking around the car, you notice it.
Gotcha. All right, well, I make my way back into the diner.
All right, so you head back into the diner as Henry finishes up his conversation with Doreen. And Jared finishes masturbating.
Jared, why are you doing that? You really think this is the place?
It's the end of the fucking world.
Yeah, well, I'm just, being Dr. Swift's cure for nothing.
What? Oh, by the way, you all...
From Hans Ziegler.
Oh, you all heal 1 more HP as well.
Woohoo!
Eating.
Oh, yes. The waitress with disdain for Amelia, do I notice that?
I don't know. Did he share that information?
No.
Unfortunately, I did not yet.
Okay.
Perhaps it's best we barricade ourselves. If that thing comes back, we could be like sitting ducks in here. I tell Dorian.
Okay. And Doreen kind of looks at you like, do you think it can get through?
You saw the way it destroyed Jake. I mean, I don't think it has a problem breaking glass.
Yeah, but... And that cleverness behind her eyes, kind of, you start seeing it. She says, but why? But then why wouldn't it come after us, if that's its purpose?
Well, maybe it's full right now, and when it gets hungrier, it'll come after us. I don't know. Maybe it's protecting the woods. Who knows? Should we be safe?
I don't know. I don't think any amount of barricading. And you look at the front of the cafe, and it's all large windows on all sides. I don't think any amount of barricading is going to cover all these windows.
Hey,
No.
if it's made of mist, it'll just seep under the door.
And you see the old couple kind of sitting in the booth.
How are they doing? Maybe we should talk to them.
And they're saying, "Can we get a coffee?" This is horrible service.
They didn't
I'm
see you
going
in
to
your
yell
ring.
1 star.
Great special effects, though.
Yeah.
I would like the moons over the Miami, please.
Moon's over Parma. All right.
Yeah, okay. Do you have any... Okay. I don't know what to say then.
So we don't barricade it. I guess the best option is to get to Arkham.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, or set the forest on fire.
That's your answer for everything. Set it on fire!
Burn it with fire.
Burn it with fire.
Well, it is the purifier.
And Amelia, who's just sitting there, kind of sits up. And she says, wait, and she turns to Henry and says, Henry, or she turns to Jarrett, sorry, and says, Jarrett. And you can tell she's still shaking.
Yes, ma'am. It's okay.
Don't call me ma'am, I'm younger than you. And she knows you by name. Again, this is the woman who served
Bed
you
and
this morning.
breakfast.
Yeah. And she says, I saw it. I saw it come into this world. Or out of it. And you can tell she's actually trying to remember something. And it comes
take
to
your
that.
time, Amelia. Take your time.
And she's not trying, and you can tell now she's not like trying to hide it from you. It's that for whatever reason she had a bout of madness and that she's forgotten. I woke up. No, I was running in the woods. I just remember running in the woods, and then I saw you. Oh my god! Oh my god! And she starts crying again.
And I'll put my hand on her shoulder and be.
Don't touch me! Don't touch me! You don't know me!
Stranger danger!
Give me another roll of some sort.
Yeah, well, again, I'd try the psychoanalysis again. Try to calm it down a little.
Calm her
And again,
down?
Calm it down.
Oh.
I want to calm it down. Calm it down.
Calm it down?
Yeah, I'm
Calm
gonna
it
calm
down.
it down.
Calm it down.
You mocking me? Thought we were a nice group here.
You fucking mocking me.
Okay. Unfortunately, yeah, she probably not doing much better.
What's your psychoanalysis?
It's 57.
57? You can use luck to change it.
Oh yeah? How do I do that? How do I go about doing that?
Spend however many luck points it is to bring it down to 57, because you were at 65?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so that's only 8 points.
Oh, well, then I'll do that.
Oh, and on that note, I should have mentioned, part of the rolling that you guys did at the beginning of this game also applies to luck. So we'll just roll that at the beginning of the next game, and then again at the game after that, to recoup those luck points.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you, you bring her down, so to speak. You pat her down.
Yes.
And she looks at you and says, Jarrett, no, I saw it. It broke open, and I saw the light come out of it. And you can see her, and she looks past you through the large windows up to the B&B on the hill. And she says, it was there. That's how this all started. It came from there.
It came from where, Amelia?
Granddad's box. It was some sort of thing. And Doreen's
was it in
leaning
his
on the
room?
counter. And Doreen's leaning on a counter, and she's over listening, and she walks over, and she says, and she sits down next to you and says, Amelia, are you saying that this thing came from your place on the hill? And Amelia kind of nods really slowly. And you see Sam is overlooking too. Again, the place is pretty quiet. There's no more conversations going on after the death of a fucking guy in the middle of the street. And everyone kind of leans over, and Sam's like, what do you mean it came from your B&B?
Hey. Calm down. It's nothing. It's no one's fault here. Grandfathers are fucking wicked weird. They got weird shit. That's one thing I've learned. Anyway, was this in his bedroom there, Amelia?
And she just shakes her head and she says, I don't remember. I don't remember.
But so it was somewhere like your grandfather kept it close?
I don't remember.
Where's your grandfather's room, Amelia? If we were to go back to the house.
Yeah. And she
Which room was
you.
his? Because we went into the house, right? Like
yeah. And she draws you.
Fuck.
She draws you.
We're familiar with the house a little bit, right? Because we spent the night there.
That's true. And she draws you a crude sketch.
All right. Now, is there any weird ways into the attic or the basement or any other rooms we should be aware of?
And she thinks for a second and says, No.
Is the house open or is it locked right now?
And again, she just crumbles back into a ball. She says, I don't know. And
It's okay. It's okay.
And,
Hey,
you can
D.
tell she's receded a bit back. Hey, D?
I can't remember her name. Doreen?
Doreen. She's got it on her name tag, Jared. Just look. Just look.
I know. I drew it.
Tag thing.
What was her name?
Doreen. Wow.
Hey, Doreen.
Doreen is not in your good books right now.
Can we get Amelia another coffee?
And Doreen kind of looks at you and says, "Get your fucking." No, she says, "Yeah." She gets up, pours her coffee.
And then
Great.
now I'll go back and talk to the other guys and be like,
Okay.
"Hey guys, can you come here for a second?" Sorry to interrupt, but
What's up, Jared?
and so I'm gonna relay what I just learned from Amelia, and just say it might be worth our time to go at least look at, because maybe if there was a way something brought it into this world, maybe there's a way to get it back.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
I mean, it seems
we're
better
just
than
nuts
just
right
sitting
here.
around waiting to be eaten to me.
Yeah, it's better than risking the drive to Arkham in the heat of a storm.
Yeah, and you know, based on the road condition, that Arkham, besides being a difficult drive, would most likely not be reached tonight. It would be a bunch of drive autos, as they say. About 10 of them. All extreme successes.
Oh, okay. That's as they say.
That's as they say in the newspaper. Well, tonight should be crazy. If you're trying to drive to Arkham from the random town of Orchards Run, please roll 10 extreme successes on your drive auto skill. What the fuck? That's crazy.
Okay, now, do you think... let's get back in the
Holiday
game
traffic.
here, guys. It is a long weekend. I don't know, guys. Do you think it's, like... How far away was the house from here? Could we run it, or do we drive it? Because I'm wondering, you feel like it's worth getting around the back? And at some point, I'll let you talk, Harlan. At some point, but just not this point right here.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, can I talk now? Let me answer the question you asked. Yes, it is up a, not a steep hill, but the B&B sat on top of a relatively large hill that carried down a long drive. Now, and at the bottom was an iron gate. Now, you do remember that the drive up to it was dirt. It was a dirt road.
So that's where I want to talk. Like, guys, do you think it's worth trying to drive it, or we better to try to go out a back door and work our way around?
I want to drive it.
You want to drive it? Or
Yeah.
you don't want to drive it?
I do want to drive it. If we get stuck, we can leave the car at that point, but we might as well take our chances.
And it seemed like we were safe in the car at the time.
Well,
I'd rather be in the car than what happened to Jake, that's for sure.
Let's get to it, and then if there's a big hill, we can just park at the top of the hill. We don't have to go down all the way in case we got to make a hurry exit.
True. All
Alright,
right.
let's take the car. I get my shotgun out of the trunk and I sit it.
This is your shotgun. That's how long it is.
That's right. Don't cross
You're
streams.
compensating for something.
Elephant gun?
Yeah.
What are you doing with
All
an
right.
elephant gun in Massachusetts?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Mm.
Boom. Okay, so you guys head outside, and Sam and Doreen don't offer any assistance, and the old couple's kind of like, and you guys step outside into the pouring rain. As again, immediately, the short amount of time that you were inside dried your clothes such a small amount that it was almost non-existent because they're soaked again the minute you step outside. And you guys head towards the car and start it up, and you make your way over to the wrought iron gate leading up to the and as you pass by the side of the cafe, you see them all kind of standing in the window looking at you, and you see Amelia just give you like a good luck.
Bye.
And you continue on to the bed and breakfast. So you arrive at the bottom of the long drive, and you see the iron gate, which is shut.
Ram it.
I was going to say, so she ran hysterically out, and then went, oh, better lock this.
It's not so high that it cannot be jumped, if you remember correctly.
All right, let's get out.
Hold on, I got an idea. I bring the car up right next to the gate,
Okay.
and then I get out.
Good idea.
All right,
I don't get why that was an idea.
now we can
Because
climb
no one
on the
wants to
car
walk
to get
that
over the
distance.
gate.
Well, the gate is unlocked. It was just shut.
Ah!
I have an idea. Walk over and open it. Get back in the car as I drive, James.
But you know what? His idea was good. So let's say it is locked, just for funsies. No, it is unlocked. So you lift the thing and you can drive up the drive.
It's up a hill or down a hill?
It's up a hill.
Oh, okay. Then up the hill we go in the car.
All right. Wait, it should be more fearful. So you slowly start making your way up the hill, and lightning illuminates the bed and breakfast which sits atop the hill, almost painting a horrific, or I should say more
iconic.
Like Gothic?
Maybe I was going to say some sort of Gothic. Thank you, a Gothic tableau of this large.
No, I said Gothic.
That's what I said. Yeah, Gothic tableau. Oh, sorry, Gallic tableau. Because you need more garlic on that pizza. A Gothic tableau. I mean, a Gothic tableau. Anyway, as you make your way up, and about halfway up, the car starts getting a bit sluggish. Roll a drive. No, no, roll a luck.
A luck.
This ain't gonna be skill,
no.
bro. This will be luck.
This is gonna be skill. I'm gonna pop it into second so that I have more power under my wheels
roll
and
luck.
a little bit more traction. Damn it! That's skill, though. That's what you do on a
that
hill.
would be skill, but it might help you get out, but it's not gonna help you get stuck.
No.
No. Okay. So you do get stuck. Now you can. So the car gets. If you would like to pop into second and try a drive, I will give you a bonus die to try to get out.
Okay.
See?
Sounds good to me. Oh, Harlan, you are so giving.
And Henry, are you gonna push?
Yeah, I'll get out and I'll push.
Oh, you're gonna get out.
I hope it doesn't roll back on me, though. That'd be bad.
Okay. So you're not looking around when you get out, right? You're not doing a...
No, I just actually do one of these.
Perfect. Okay.
All right, rolling the drive.
Roll and a push.
So what is that, a 19?
Success. That
Oh,
would be a-
natural 2.
Maybe natural 3. Oh, you got a 2 as well. Well, either way,
so hard.
together the two of you succeed. Not only do you push it out, it zooms right to the top of the hill.
Wait for me.
Leaving Henry behind as the white smoke comes in.
I think it was because of my driving, and Henry thinks it was because of his pushing.
Yes, you're both confident. And Jared just thinks it's because he was
I was
there.
He
etching.
thought it.
He was etching the car.
Guys, I
Guys.
drew the car at the top of the hill, and it was at the top
Fucking
of the
wolves.
I'm telling you to put the money under the traction to get traction, Justin.
Roll a credit rating under the car. Perfect. Okay, so you arrive at the top of the hill, and you pull up to the building, and you see the front door is actually wide open. Banging open and shut, sorry, in the rain. There's a covered porch. Again, you've been here before. And you park almost where Roland had parked this car this morning. And, yeah, front door bangs open, and there is all darkness inside.
We should have asked the bar for a flashlight.
We have a pen light. It's good. We're set.
You guys, this is like 3 games, and you still don't have a flashlight.
We have a
Oh.
we have a lantern, don't we?
Yep.
You do have an oil lantern, yeah.
Yeah, but
Was flickering out
at what
before.
point were we able to stop and buy one?
That's true.
Thank you.
All right.
You're welcome.
All right. So I say I got my shotgun and go up to the door. I said, "Mr. Webb."
Okay, so you call into the dark house, and your voice echoes. And as you kind of stand on the porch at the cusp of the doorway, you immediately smell something, like a roast almost.
Hey, Henry, that body of Jake that I saw earlier, it looked like there were burn marks on it.
Did it smell this delicious?
Does it smell particularly delicious?
Roll for cannibalism. Someone give me a spot hidden out front.
Success.
Not Chris.
Yeah,
No,
it's
I'm
a
just
hard
kidding.
success. Hard success.
Okay,
You gotta
well,
roll so they can get that higher.
I'm sorry?
They need to roll so they can get those on that one higher.
Well, that's what I was going to say. From here, for the next few, let's do other people rolling. What is Jared doing? You're cray, Jared. Cray.
Yeah, well, you said it like smells like burnt person.
It does.
I
This
thought
is
it was
role
like a
playing,
roll.
guys. This is Die Hard. I want to see you guys more into it. Jared gets XP for role playing.
I'm salivating. Does that help?
Yes. Add 2 to your sanity. Insanity, mind you. Take 2 off. Okay, so you spot the... There we go. Look at that. Dedication, Holmes. Chris, follow suit.
I don't know where.
It'll be fine. There we go. Now we're in Spook Central. Population us.
And his wife's going to be tripping all over the place and be like, what the hell?
Well, she's already high as balls tripping. Whoa, bro! That's a drug joke. All right, so you do a spot hidden out in front of the house, and you notice a crowbar sunken a bit in the mud. You almost can't see it, but with your hard success, you reach down and pull a large metal crowbar.
All right. Well, this might be useful.
All right, so you. It was a hard, right? You know what? So you also notice in the mud some tracks that looks as though someone has slipped and fallen and left a visible skid patch, which has yet to be eroded by the rain.
Now, is there anything that would... Because, again, when we were looking at Amelia's clothing, when I was looking for the tattoo, did it look like she might have slipped?
There was mud on her, but it was more around the bottom of her dress.
But
and
nothing like she would have fallen.
No.
All right.
Nothing like that.
So it was probably someone else here at some point, be it grandfather or maybe another guest of the bed and breakfast.
Possible.
So again, I let them know again because I don't know if they had noticed that about Amelia's dress.
Okay.
Let's go inside.
All right. So you enter the front door, and you're immediately welcomed back to a familiar scene. The breakfast table that you ate at this very morning. The chairs are all tucked in, and the dishes all put away, but you're eerily reminded of how less than 24 hours ago there were 5 of you sitting around this table joking, telling stories, and now there are 3, 2 of which lie dead in the grave some miles back. And you kind of get a chill as you think about that. Yeah, so that's the kitchen. And there's a door across from you, which you remember being the kind of reception room that you could sit in. And to your right is the hallway, which led upstairs to your sleeping quarters.
Okay, so I don't think we should be splitting up at any point because I may have a gun, but I don't have it out. And
where's the most smelly? Is the smell getting stronger anywhere?
So you walk around the room and give me a smell roll. No, but you do notice that it seems to be coming from the reception room.
That's where we should start, I guess.
Okay. And looking down, you see mud tracks leading to and from that room.
Okay, let's go that way.
Okay.
All right.
So you head into that room, and bathed in darkness, Jarrett's penlight illuminates a sickly scene. And as you open the door, the first thing you see by your feet looks to be a recently fired single double-barreled 20-gauge shotgun just lying on the ground. And as you continue upwards, you see dots of red blood. And as you stand back and admire the whole scene, the 3 of you in the room, you see the remains of 2 men. One you assume immediately would be the grandfather, Dr. Webb. You imagine in life he was a classic example of a New England partition with a thin, heavily lined face, close-cropped white hair, a beard. Now he's slumped to his knees, resting against an armchair, his shoulder bloody. and he just sits there lifeless, white as a sheet. In the middle of the room, you see a young man in his early 20s that you do not recognize. His features are contorted in a twisted agony, and he's almost unrecognizable if you did know him. His jawbone and many of his joints have been self-dislocated in the throes of a violent convulsion, and he lies like a discarded and broken marionette on the floor. The lower half of his body has been reduced to ashes, as if some intense heat had burnt him from the ground up. And that's what you see.
Okay, so
it looks a little bit like what I saw on Jake. Those burns make sense. It's the same mist that we saw in the woods.
okay, so after rolling a sanity check, and if I pass,
Yeah, let's all roll sanity. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm
So
not.
I rolled
too
over,
freaked
so I
out.
need to do how much damage?
So it's going to be 1d4 plus 1, and if you roll under, it's going to be just 1.
I've
So
seen
I
a lot
took
of
5
shit
points.
today.
I'm gonna go insane.
Sorry, just 1d4, not 1d4 plus 1. I read that wrong. It's 1/1d4.
Now, if I take a certain amount of points in one game, does that still count as insane?
Yes, there is a rule for that too, but we're not going to worry about it just yet.
Okay.
There's certain rules that I'm instituting, or however you want to say it, past game 5 for time reasons, because they have to go like to sanity and stuff like that. And the first part of this campaign is going to barrel forward a bit. So, no, that's fine. So take the damage that you need to, or take the sanity that you need to.
okay, and then I also want to, like, when we came in, did we have to sign into a book or anything like that? Did we sign in to say that we were staying here, or was it just like a handshake kind of deal?
Sure. No, I like that. Let's say there was a guest book. Yeah.
Well, thank you, because that's actually Hans's idea.
Cool.
To check
That's
the
a good
guest
idea,
registry.
Hans. So we're going to say there is.
Spirit Hans. Thank you.
And because again, maybe check his wallet or something. But I would check the guest registry.
Okay. Let me meta this a bit, because I would doubt. Well, had I asked this question yesterday, would you guys have put your real names in the guest book when signing in?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to say Roland would not. However, the last 5 entries are of you 4 and another name which you assume, based on the writing type, is Roland, but under a pseudonym. Other than that, there are no other entries. The last entry before that is weeks ago.
Okay.
But good idea.
And any wallet identification or anything?
Okay, so you check the bodies, and you check, I'm assuming, the young man first.
Sure.
Right, so you check him, and yeah, you do find a wallet. And opening it up, you see a Massachusetts state driver's license of a man by the name of Clem Taylor.
I'm Taylor.
And yeah, so you can roll medicine on them as a little bit of a hint to see if you can figure out why they. Murder guy.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try to figure out what happened here. I take a look at the old man. I say, Henry, you check the young man.
Sure.
Okay, give me medicine rolls for both.
I have no idea. Could be old age for all I know.
It's a splinter. And Frank, nothing either.
Nope.
Okay. So no, you have no idea.
So are they bleeding anywhere? Like, is that...
Yeah, it looks like. So the old man does have one of his shoulders bloody.
Okay.
No
Looks like
shotgun wounds or anything?
It looks like a shotgun wound in his shoulder. Yes. It looks like, put it this way, based on your failed roll, I'll just say based on your roll, it looks like he might have appeared to die from the blood loss of the shotgun wound in his shoulder.
Right. If he's
And
slumped up against a chair.
I'm going to do a spot hidden on the hands of the young guy to see if there's any gunpowder.
Okay. Or you can do a spot hidden for the. Well, you know what? Let's give someone else a chance to do another one. So why don't you do the hands, and someone else why don't you do a spot hidden for the room in general? So Henry, go for the hands first.
Yep, success.
Okay, so you look at the hands of the man, and there is no gunpowder on his hand. And Justin or Mike, who's going to roll spot hidden? Mike, you look so creepy in the darkness.
Well, I was thinking that I might, if that's okay there, Frank, because one of the things I was thinking about is how they died isn't really that important to me. What I'm looking for is the box that Amelia was talking about. So that's actually, I think, where my focus would be, is where's this box?
Find that.
Okay, so give us a roll.
And it looks to me like that's a hard success.
Excellent. So you start scanning the floor, and off to one side, almost behind a couch, you do see an overturned metal box of some sorts, and it looks out of place with the decor of the room. It's perhaps 16 inches wide, 9 inches tall. It's trowel-shaped, featureless, and it's mounted on small clawed metal feet. And do you pick it up, or do you just look at it?
Well, what I was going to say is I'll walk over to it and kind of like point to it and take out my pocket knife, or wrap my pocket knife in my vest that I was using to cover my mouth and breathing, so that I'm not having metal-to-metal contact, and kind of flip it around and see if it looks like any markings or anything like that.
Okay, so yeah, you flip it around a little bit, and it seems like there's remnants of an odd-smelling wax that were used to seal the edges of the hinged lid. You look inside it, and it seems to be lead-lined. And there's something that reminds you of almost like a funeral about its appearance, although it's too large for an urn.
Okay,
And,
so again, would an occult check be worthwhile?
You can, give me that.
Because I've done so fabulous with them, but hey, I passed.
Okay, perfect. So before that, you do notice that there is kind of a spill of fine white ash from where it has been dropped, as if it hit the floor and a bit of ash kind of came out of it. But you do look at it, and you get a feeling of occultiness with it. And you begin to feel immediately uneasy, and you start immediately feeling nauseous. And you don't get any other feeling from it of any sort of grander scheme, other than this is more than likely the thing that housed the white wispy creature.
Right. And so this is where I'm going to be looking around, tell these guys that what we want to probably find is grandfather's diary or some sort of book that may have information about what this sort of thing is.
Okay. So
because he had to have got it from somewhere.
Yeah. And Frank, what are you doing?
I'm curious about the men.
Okay, so yeah, to continue, we'll come right back to you. To continue with Henry, he opened the wallet, and you were looking through, you found his license, and immediately said out loud, Clem Taylor. However, you searched the remainder of his pockets, and you do find that he's got 2 spare shotgun shells. His wallet has a single dollar bill, a gas coupon for the gas station down the road, and it has a small folded photograph of a woman eating cotton candy. And you open it, and you recognize it immediately as the waitress that was down at the cafe. The one known as Mary.
Is he the only one with mud on his boots, or is the grandfather have mud on his boots?
The grandfather does not have mud on his boots. The young man does. And Frank, let's go back to you.
Well, I'm just standing around waiting, and Henry, Jarrett, you find anything? I'm looking out the window.
Frank, while you're generally looking around, you're kind of pacing around the outside of it, of the room, just kind of assessing the whole situation, and you do hear whistling of the wind from the window behind you. And looking down, very obviously, it looks like the window has been pried open from the outside.
Okay. And I take a closer look. Does it look like it was a crowbar that did it?
Yes, it looks like there is a crowbar, and even looking down, you see muddy footprints below the window.
Does it look like 2 sets of muddy footprints?
Ooh, let's roll something.
Idea, intelligence.
Sure.
Because I am starting to put together. I'm trying not to meta this because I know from the thing last week, the little vignette, kind of what's going on, but. No dice. I don't piece it together. I'm like,
You see multiple footsteps, obviously, but you can't tell if it's from one person moving around back and forth or multiples. However, smart money is on 2 people.
Okay.
Frank, do I notice Frank looking at all this stuff, putting it together?
Yeah, I'm going to say you're all very vocal about what you find because.
Frank, what do you think? You don't think it was one person?
Well, we found
you don't think this guy shot him?
We found a crowbar outside, and that should be enough to deduce that there is 2 people, because, I mean, this person didn't make it outside. I'm guessing he was the one holding the shotgun. Or not, maybe not, but the fact that the crowbar is outside, but it was used to get inside, makes me think that someone was trying to run away.
What about, well, we know that Miss Webb tried to run away.
We do know that. She
Perhaps possessed or something. I mean, Edward lost his mind.
Now, have we checked any of these guys for tattoos or anything? Like, we could strip them right naked. I mean, what the hell?
You could if you're horrible people.
Well, I'm gonna check on that body. I'm gonna check on that that area outside. I think we might find another body or something.
Yeah, maybe I'll come help you out.
Okay. So. 2 of you head outside as the rain continues pattering down hard on the roof. This storm has been raging now for well on half an hour, 45 minutes, and we're talking about the heat of the storm, and it doesn't look to be letting up. As you walk outside, bolts of lightning dot the horizon. Jarrett, what are you doing?
Well, I'm a little nervous about being inside by myself, but I also don't want to go outside where that thing is. So again, because I'm looking for books and stuff, I might go up and try to find Grandfather's bedroom and check there.
I just had a thought from the spirits of investigators past.
So you didn't have a thought?
No, I was given a thought. Is it a slug or is it buckshot? The rounds that are in the shotgun in the room versus the rounds found in the pocket.
They're the same rounds.
Okay, thought so. Cool.
Yes. Okay, so Jarrett, you know based on the diagram that Amelia drew you that the doctor's room is on this floor, or rather his study, I should say. His room and study. You can see here. He's got the room and the study. So you can check that, but first we're going to head outside to Henry and Frank. Henry! What are you doing?
We're walking down the hill back to that slip spot where we found.
Okay, that was actually just out front of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, it's a large incline hill, and then near the top, where the house is, maybe 20 feet in any direction of flat, and that's where you saw the slip in the crowbar. And as you walk out and you guys kind of take a look at the hill, you see something coming up the hill towards you.
Well, what does it look like?
It looks like a silhouette of a person with long fingers.
And horns.
No?
Okay.
I didn't say horns.
She just got her nails did.
Frank, what the hell is that?
I don't know. I pull out my gun. Hello.
Oh.
Who are you?
Just shoot first. Always better. And in a flash of lightning, which is relatively close by, you see the soaked Amelia walking up towards you with, again, kind of wide eyes and holding her arms out in the rain. And she says, "I remembered more. I remembered more." And she's walking up towards you guys.
All right, get inside. Come on.
No,
So
Frank, maybe not. Here, come to the car. We'll sit in the car.
Okay, so she kind of looks puzzled, and she slows to a walking pace, and she says, "Okay." And as she does, you see white tentacles slink up behind her.
Wait,
All
coming
right.
from behind her, not her? Exactly.
Coming from behind her.
Emily,
up the
run!
road.
I yell to her.
And she looks at you in a confused...
Run!
Run.
Come
And
to
so-
us! Run to us!
So she begins running towards the car, and in a flash, again, the white light, the dead light, comes at her and engulfs her almost immediately. And she's lifted off the ground as she screams.
I just fire into it. It's best
So
I can.
the two of you are standing there. Well, if you fire into her, you're going to be hitting her, you know that, yeah?
Even if I shoot underneath her, you said just lift it up.
You can shoot underneath her, but it's like with her. It's like think of it like a cloud. Like,
And there's no edge of the cloud I can hit or anything. It's kind of like.
you can. With a shotgun, you would be hitting her at some degree. But either way, as you
Well, it's not slugs at all.
What's that?
They're not slugs. It's like buckshot. Then.
Sure. Either way, you would be hitting her, and as you load the shot, it engulfs her, and she starts screaming in pain. And just as she does, a bolt of lightning smacks against the roof of the car, and the two of you are. You stumble back as the blinding light flashes, and you hear almost a and she's dropped to her knees as the dead light speeds away into the woods and drops her, and she falls into all fours and begins shaking.
I run to go get her.
I run with her.
And you see her left hand, the bones of her fingers are half out, and her left hand is just, and she kind of holds them back in, just kind of cracked, not broken the skin, but.
Okay. I wrap my coat around it, around the wound, just to
And
make
she
it
heads
more
inside the house, and she goes,
Yeah.
Do you have any first aid here? Do you have anything?
She goes, yeah. And she heads to
Just tell me where it is. I'll get it.
the doctor's study.
Yeah.
So, Jarrett, as you're you go into the doctor's room.
Well, sorry, I don't remember. Did we find tattoos on either of those guys?
No tattoos.
Okay. Yep, so I go into the doctor's room.
Okay, and so there's his bedroom, and you see a study. So which would you check? Well, the study actually connects to his bedroom, so you'd enter the study first. And you kind of, glance the shelves with your pen light, and you can see that the room is given over to Dr. Webb's old personal letters and records, largely out-of-date books on medicine. There's a small library on the natural history of New England, and a sizable collection of pinned butterflies in glass frames that are hung on the wall. You do see in the corner that there is a sturdy, locked bureau. You can see a large lock on it.
Okay, so just before I go there, in case this doesn't turn out well for, Amelia, and, it's like no one's going to be using these books for a while, I'm going to jot down a couple of titles that I'd be interested in, because I am interested in history and medicine and pretty much anything like that.
Okay.
And again, I guess I'll no need metagaming. No use using a library roll here, because anything worthwhile checking out.
Sure. There's about 25 books per shelf, and maybe 20 shelves. I mean, there's hundreds of books, but you do look through. You see most of them are. How about this? You'd probably be looking for something of rarity that you wouldn't be able to find at the library. Is that fair to say?
Exactly.
Okay, so you do not see anything Yeah, you don't see anything that would be worth your time. Most of them are medical textbooks, again, largely out of date. Great books. Don't get me wrong, Dr. Webb. Great books. But,
so yeah, I'll go to the locked. What'd you say? A locked bureau?
Yes, and it has a word combination. And next to the bureau is a record player, an old cone record player, with a record on it that says, "Who? Betsy." Who is it? Betsy Smith?
Bessie Smith?
Bessie Smith. And your chest begins burning as you do.
So I'm going to pull out my book and see what my advisors are writing down.
And written in ashy scroll on the empty page is the word... What, Henry?
Thorn.
Thorn. And you look at the law combination, and it does look like the word thorn would fit.
Well then I'm gonna plug that in there.
Perfect. So with a click, that opens, and the bureau falls open. So you do a quick glance, and there's a ton of papers, but you do find $600 in cash.
Oh, well, it's not really mine, so well, I don't know if I would, because I know it's not mine. And I don't know at this point that anything's happened to Amelia, so I would be thinking it's probably part of her inheritance, and me not having anything really growing up, it's not my place to take someone's livelihood away from them.
Wow. That's good. All right, and you do see an Arkham First National Bank book that says it contains about $19,000, which puts Frank to shame.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Kidding, Frank.
No, it doesn't.
You're not rich, okay? You still have a house. It's tied up in assets.
$25,000, man.
Yeah, assets. Anyway, give me a spot hidden.
According to my paper, that's a hard success.
Okay, so you search the papers of the desk, and you do see underneath it a small black leather-bound journal. It's sort of hidden under the piles of legal papers and professional certificates and things. And you pick it up and kind of flip through it, and you see that the majority of the journal is left blank, except for the innermost pages, on which it kind of speaks of something called the Dead Light. And it goes on to talk about the Dead Light having an evil purpose. However, and it talks about, how it can be harnessed to serve whatever purpose that holder decides to use.
Oh, now that's interesting.
But then in Dr. Webb's own scroll, it says many years ago he had destroyed all ways to control it, and instead decided to lock it away in an unmarked urn. And you would deduce that that is the urn in the other room, which is now open. Frank, Henry, you guys walk back inside and burst into the study that Jared is currently sneaking around in. And
we need first aid. It got Emily.
And Jared, you had seen some on the shelf as well, and Emily is close behind, and the three of you work together.
Okay, so I'll who's the more educated one? Is it Frank or Henry?
I am, I think.
I have an education of 72.
So I'll as I'm trying to do a first aid check.
Henry's definitely more educated.
Okay, because what I'd say is this talks about what we're looking for, and it talks about how Dr. Webb at one point captured it and put it in this unmarked box. I didn't get a chance to see if it actually talks about the process in which he did so. So
here's my thinking, Frank. I think that this person was. I don't know. Were you talking out loud about the fact that you recognized the girl? Oh, I recognized the girl to be the waitress, right?
Correct. You were the only one that saw the photo so far.
Jared,
you shared it.
Jared, did you share the information that the waitress looked a little fed up with Emily?
Amelia? She's right there. Just ask her name. It's right there.
Miss Webb?
There you go.
Hey, Joe?
Honestly, I can't remember if I did or not.
Well, would you after seeing the picture in here?
Oh yeah, yeah, because
So here's what I think.
if I recognized her as such, because I don't remember if I saw the picture.
The man broke in. He's looking for this cash that was in this box. He thought it was this other box. Mr. Webb, the grandfather, tried to fight him to stop him because realizing it's not just cash, it's something worse. Gets in the way, gets shot, dies, and they release the thing, killing the man. And then Emily came down and ran. What do you
Could
think?
be.
I think
You
that's
might be right there,
that's a good
right?
theory.
But how do we stop it? So reading this thing, do I understand anything more? Do I get any idea of how we can stop it? If we can
Okay,
put it
so-
back in the box?
So you give a
And,
thorough read to the journal. So roll. It costs you 1d4 Sandy, and
Really?
it gives you plus 1% to your Cthulhu Mythos.
Ooh.
And Michael.
Sorry, I was just gonna say that I got a hard success on the first aid for Amelia.
Okay, so yeah, you very confidently wrap her fingers tight, the compress or whatever, and feed her a pain pill, and she kind of nods to you, and goes to lie down on the couch. As she does so, she walks past her dead grandfather as tears well in her eyes, and oh no, she says she'll go lie in her room. I guess would make more sense. She's gonna go lie down,
Do you want me to walk you there? You okay?
and she kind of says thank you, but I think I should be fine. It's just around the corner. And it's right across the hall.
Did we help her with her hand? I hope so.
Yeah, he just did that successfully.
Okay, good.
All right. So what does Henry discover in the book, the journal?
So besides the instructions that Jared told you about, which have been totally destroyed, there are single letters that are matched with dates, 3 or 4 figure numbers. There's 16 entries in all, and the dates are radically interspersed over the last 30 years. The most recent date, maybe 3 years ago. And give me a no roll. No, or I guess I keep.
You want me to
forgetting
roll
his
or not?
What?
Knowledge.
Yeah, let's do a. There used to. What would be replacing that then? Because knowledge roll is for like how well you know something. So what the
Well,
hell
it
would
depends
they
what
do?
it's
I think
relating
it'd be
to.
like
I think it's probably like a
education.
cult.
Education, I guess. No, not a cult. Okay, for instance, like there's a girl and you don't know if you recognize her, right? Normally you'd roll like a knowledge roll, but I guess they replaced that. I think.
What about idea?
Sure, let's try idea then.
Where's idea?
It's under education.
No, idea is also
sorry,
under
intelligence.
characteristics. It's the top right. Oh no, that's intelligence. Yeah,
No,
intelligence
it's
and
under
idea.
intelligence. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just under it, yeah.
So good.
Good. Okay, so you kind of stare at them for a second as your mind spins, reading these kind of horrific things, and it looks like the 16 entries represent some sort of tally of those that might have been murdered by this dead light. By the agency of most likely Dr. Webb or whoever has used this journal in the past. Now, while you do while you do see similar scroll in certain parts, such as the part where it said Dr. Webb has destroyed it, where he says, "I have destroyed the dead light; it shall no longer be harnessed for evil." There is also different scroll, and the dates running back almost 50, maybe 100 years ago. So you would surmise that this dead light and this book have passed many hands.
Okay. But I don't get anything else from that.
No.
Well, we have a
Well,
box, I guess.
or
Do
we,
some
should
more-
talk, we can talk to Amelia. Maybe she has more information, like she said.
There's also the doctor's bedroom just next door, too. This is just his study.
Well, we'll look there as well.
Okay. You see condoms, sexual implements, a sex swing. Whoa! No. So you open the door, and his bedroom seems quite ordinary. In fact,
to love.
everything points to a pretty well-ordered, structured man, clothes neatly sorted, shoes polished, only useful, functional items and things like that. Someone want to give me a spot hidden? Let's say, who has not succeeded a spot hidden? Is everyone so far?
I have.
Mike?
Yes, I have, Alan.
Okay, then whoever wants to do spot hidden can.
Nope.
No!
Can
All
you
right.
spend a luck? Is it close?
Yeah, I'll push it.
Push?
Maybe I'll find that sex swing after all. And still no.
Oh, man. That sucked even more. So, no, you don't see anything. And in fact, the room shuts and locks you out. I don't know how to punish that. Nah, I'm just going to say you don't find anything, and
You get something
you're
stuck in his eye.
confident there is absolutely nothing in there.
Okay. There's probably something in here.
I'm just going to say you can't roll anymore in this room, so. Unfortunately, because you pushed it. So, you leave the room, and you hear kind of Amelia snoring softly in the next room.
She's asleep. She's asleep. Well, I don't know about you guys, but it's been a long day. You think it's safe to shut our eyes for a bit, or do you think we need to figure this thing out?
Yeah, I'm not sleeping with that thing out there. Let's try to get rid of it somehow.
Yeah.
So there is also a cellar in this house that you guys have not visited.
Yeah, because we've been really lucky in cellars so far.
Yep.
Yeah, the last
And
one.
Edward walks down behind you.
Oh yeah, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah.
Let's check the cellar.
Okay, so you guys head down, and the lights do not function. But you, again, glance around the room. I mean, there's no lights in the house at all, but particularly odd in the cellar for some stupid reason. Apart from the dust, cobwebs, packing crates, and things like that, the only thing of interest down here is a large domestic electrical generator system. And give me an electrical roll, Frank.
Sure. Generator, like were there light switches and stuff upstairs?
Yep.
That is a success.
Okay, so you just kind of walk over to it and give it an eye, and it does look to be in relative working order. It looks like, and based on your knowledge of these systems, that it would put out a massive amount of electricity, enough to fry a human.
Or a light thing? A light monster? You saw the way it reacted to the lightning.
Question is how? How do we
You're the engineer.
Yeah, that's true.
Perhaps we can run some cables and, I don't know.
You guys seem pretty educated yourselves. I
Probably
have
this way.
experience. Alright, well, can I roll for an Well, let's think about this. So
What do we want to do, exactly?
we want to electrocute it.
Well, I don't know. I just saw the way it reacted to the lightning. Do you think it reacted to the light, or to the noise, or to the electricity itself?
If you'd like to do some sort of roll to remember the event and see if you could deduce what it was, I will allow it.
Okay. Can't hurt.
Nothing can hurt at this point except for steak knives.
Okay.
Steak knives.
Intelligence, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
To be able to deduce.
So I'm good.
Okay.
Very
So
good.
you relay the information to Jarrett and Frank. Obviously, Frank was there, but you say, based on, and you each kind of correlate information, based on the fact that the truck driver was safe and there was a bolt of lightning right in front of him, and the fact that Amelia was completely dropped when lightning hit next to him, you deduce, the three of you, that it most likely is not just the light, but the electrical charge that it is afraid of for whatever reason. And you would imagine that a strong electrical charge would at the very least affect it in some way.
Is there any way we can, like, bait it with the pigs, maybe? What do you think, Frank? Jarrett? Go down, get the pigs.
Yeah, Frank, you take a look at the machine again, too, and you can jerry-rig this thing to fill this basement with enough electricity if there's a conductive source on the ground.
Okay, and then lead the conductive source outside.
You could do that.
Or somehow have it follow us in. Maybe it would have followed us in if it wasn't for the electricity.
Maybe.
Or what if we electrify the iron fence somehow?
Also possible.
Yeah, that could work.
Get the pigs, open the back, have the pigs squeal, have the thing come at us, drive it through, and then close the electrical fence and then electrify it.
All right. Well, first things first, I know we're going to need a lot of wire. Take a look around, see if you can find any. Maybe there's a shed outside that he keeps it, or maybe even down here.
Yeah, I'll take a look around.
So you take a look around the house for wire and things like that, and you do notice, because it is an electrical system in the house, that you probably could peel it out of the wall if you needed to. But other than that, spools of wire and things like that, doesn't look like he keeps them anywhere. Excuse me. Jarrett, you're muted if you have something to say.
I do. And yes, I'm muted. I was going to say it's a lot of fun trying to pull wire out of lath plaster.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Just destroy the house.
It's the worst.
Bam, bam, bam.
All right. Well, I mean, there's water outside, but I don't know how well that would work.
Brake lines in the car.
So as you're standing in the cellar, kind of working out your plan, you hear a small coo from upstairs coming from Amelia. Oh.
Jerry, you want to go check on her?
Yeah. Now's my chance. So I run up.
And Amelia is sitting up on her bed, and she says, I remember more. It wasn't... They came in. They came into the den, and she stands up, she walks towards the den. And Henry and Frank, you hear movement above. You hear Amelia get out of bed and walk towards the den.
Yeah, well, again, I might try to stop her.
Okay.
And just be like, see if you can tell me from here, because again, although she's remembering, she may not be also ready to handle the sight of the dead bodies.
Okay, fair. So you stop her in the hallway as Henry and Frank make it upstairs. I'm assuming you're coming with the sound?
Well, I want to talk about to Frank about maybe is there like a chain link fence outside we can maybe cut and just surround the room and electrify it so it's a safe place to sleep for the night?
You could do that if you needed to, but it wouldn't. Maybe. I don't know.
Pretty sure it was a wrought iron fence outside.
Yeah, it was definitely a wrought iron fence. It wasn't chain link, but even so, if it was chain link, to fill the room with electricity, I don't know.
Just electrify the fence so we have a barrier that'll protect us from the light.
We can do that, but we have to find wire.
Yeah, that was
I
like
was thinking if it was chain link, we could cut the link and then line the room with it, electrify the link, and therefore we have a safe space. But just thinking out loud.
True. All right. Possible. Something to consider for sure. So as you guys walk upstairs, Amelia is stopped in the hall with Jarrett, and she says, I remember. And she turns to the three of you and says, they came in through the back door window. They broke it open, and Grandfather called out to them, and they pulled us both in the room. We were both standing there, all four of us. Clem, Taylor, another boy, and Grandfather and me, and they wanted something. They wanted to hurt us. They wanted our money, and he gave them the box. He handed it to them, and they dropped it, and it came out, and oh my God, and it devoured Clem, and it killed him. And the other boy, he ran away, and they shot Grandfather. and he bled out, and he grabbed his heart, and then I ran. That thing's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until it's dead. You have to kill it. You have to end it. And we're going to end there for tonight. Yay! Thank you all so much for being with us tonight. This was a very fun game. I'm so happy that you guys could be here. There's lots more to this tale of woe and misery. So please join us next Wednesday for Call of Cthulhu Game 1 Part 4, where we conclude this little adventure and continue on the way to solving the great mystery of life and maybe ending the world. We'll find out. Thank you again for everyone being here. I had a fantastic time. I hope you guys did, and I hope you guys did. I want you all to have a fantastic long weekend. And as Chris always says,
don't pee on electric fences unless you're an ignorant farmer.
Good night, everybody. See you around the table.